You
got
guys
notes.
arrived in town the night before last. Spent the night at the Stonehill Inn after talking to a couple people in town, and then the next morning you guys went and you talked with a few more people in town. You met a number of people. Sister Garley, who maintains the Shrine of Luck, gave you a few tips. You met the retired adventurer who runs Erdmath Orchard. You investigated the woodworker's home where the man was murdered and his family seems to have disappeared without a trace. And then you spent the night in the hayloft of Alderleaf Farm after meeting the half-elf owner, who was very hospitable. Took shifts keeping an eye out on the manor and the Sleeping Giant Inn to see if the bandits would retaliate for the scuffle you had outside the woodworker when they ambushed you and tried to get you to leave town. After that, the next morning, you guys woke up and you, after hearing about a secret entrance in the forest, you looked around, but you weren't able to find anything. So you made your way up to the abandoned manor. And once you're up there, you noticed a number of footprints and tracks that lead to a staircase that leads down to, you can see just through the crack of a slightly open door what looks to be a cellar. And that's where we left off with the three of you now, and Sildar, who's joined you. The three of you just outside of the manor.
Leah's surprised.
And that Delgado's disappeared.
His deity has taken him to
He, thinking he was only 28, it turns out he was actually 102, and he just died. He was really old.
His corpse is just sitting there by the cellar.
What we thought was Benjamin Button's disease turned out just to be a really old man trying to pretend he was 28 again. And the exertion of climbing up the walls to the manor, he just collapsed, and no amount of healing magic was able to save him.
Wait, is Grandpa Horns not gonna play anymore?
He was never gonna like play the whole time, and it doesn't sound like he's really into it. All right, so you guys are standing. You're right here. You can just see. You can't quite see down into the manor itself, like into the cellar, but you can see, kind of with the light peeking through the door, what looks to be a cellar.
Are we meant to be? Are we still on the town's map? Or are you...
Yes, you should be for now.
Okay, that's fine.
And so just to recap, I don't know. So this is after talking to a number of people. This is where you've determined the Redbrands, who are the bandit troop that have been terrorizing the town and making it hard on business owners. This is one of their two hideouts, and their leader, a human mage that everyone just calls Glassstaff because of his glass staff that he always carries with him.
And I've heard there have been some theories among my friends. Did we have a long rest at all?
Yeah.
Yes.
You did, yeah. You slept in the hayloft, so
that's fine. I just want to reset all my shit.
Have you been informed that as a dragon man, you're really into hard-boiled eggs?
Yes,
I told him actually.
I have been told.
To the point that you'll almost throw up.
And this wasn't actually written in my lore, but we'll go with it.
Lore is ever expanding.
Yeah.
There you go, perfect.
That's
Alright, so
the
we're
point of the
right at the
game.
entrance of the cellar, right?
Yeah, so you're right here. You can see those
Roll for stealth!
stairways. Sure. Yeah. Everybody.
I want
give
to try
me a stealth
rolling
check.
for stealth.
Yeah, everybody give me a stealth check.
I'm a fucking dragon. Okay, hang on.
Doesn't matter. You could be like a lizard on the wall, bro. Just a really big one.
Alright, that's
I
not a
have
good
minus
roll.
2 to stealth.
That roll's not very
Oh,
good.
look, I got 0.
What the?
Yeah, you got 0 because you don't actually have advantage on this.
I don't...
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh.
He's accidentally clicking advantage.
So Soul, you're all, and the two of you and Sildar are all wearing the Redbrand's cloaks now that you stole off the
Yeah, why are we
thing. So
stealthing?
you put up the hoods. You kind of try to cover your faces. Arj, however, doesn't have a cloak. It wouldn't have fit him anyways, and there were only 3 to begin with. And as a 7-foot tall dragon, it's tough. But he kind of stays back. Just to so you guys make your way down the steps into what you've been informed is the Redbrand Hideout. The rest of you will need
Why
to
is
light
it
a
so
torch,
dark
which I'll
in
let you do
here?
in a second. You're downstairs in a basement. What the fuck are you?
Yeah,
a
but
sorcerer?
people are supposed to live in here.
Yeah, let's say these guys live in darkness.
Who's to say they do live here? You don't know.
It
that
was
they
a trap
do.
the whole time.
What you've heard.
It was false information.
Sildar will pull out a torch.
Okay. I would say, seeing as I'm right at the back, it seems a bit redundant for me to light a torch. So.
I mean, you're all right now in a line. Sorry.
Hang on, what's the lore
Yeah,
explanation for
but
why
the back.
Sildar suddenly came? Isn't his arm
well,
still
he
broken?
heard about what happened. No, he heard about what happened to Delgado, and instead of staying back to defend the townspeople, he decided he'd come with you guys.
Yeah, but his arm's broken.
He magically healed.
Oh,
Alright.
oh, great.
The door opens into a 5-foot wide landing, 15 feet above a large cellar, which is where you're standing. So you see these steps here going down. They go down 15 feet with stone steps descending to the floor in 2 short flights. Another door stands in between the stairs to the north, which is what you were pointing out, and opens up into a corridor. In the room you're in, you see a large stone cistern that occupies the western part of this room, and the walls of this room are lined with kegs and barrels. It appears to be a large storage cellar, pretty much exactly what you'd expect to find underneath a manor. Nothing really suspicious or anything.
Wait, did you say those were wine barrels?
They're you don't know what's in them. They're big kegs.
Leah is immediately interested in these barrels.
You're in control now.
Okay.
Is that another door?
All right. Moving 2 spaces at a time, right?
No, I mean, I'll move you guys around if you want, but
I want to
tell me what you
inspect
wanna do.
these barrels. I want to know
Sure.
about these barrels.
Alright,
sure,
so I
you
guess
wanna.
we'll follow her. Just
Yeah,
to make
so-
sure nothing's
Does no
stupid.
one have detect magic of sorts? I mean, I do, but
I
didn't
do,
really-
and I was gonna use it when we got to like a more, I don't know, like a better chance to use it because it takes up a spell slot.
Leah, you're gonna walk over and inspect the barrels, are you?
Yeah, I'm inspecting these barrels.
Before you do that, anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna detect magic. I'll use it.
You step into the middle of the room and you close your eyes and you start to focus, sending out just your thoughts to try to detect if you feel any magic. You don't notice anything within 30 feet of you. Doesn't seem to be any magical creatures.
It's any kind of magic at all.
Yeah.
And you don't
Okay.
you don't detect any.
So
Are-
Leah's not being stopped.
Sildar-
She's getting into these barrels.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Yes.
All right, so you start to search the barrels. You're kind of moving them out of the way to get to the ones in the back, opening up the tops. You look inside and you see salted pork, beef. Opening up a few others, you see some of the smaller ones are full of flour, sugar. One of them, a couple are full of ale, apples. But as you do, you start to hear a noise coming from this room here. Can everyone roll for initiative?
Yeah, we're gonna.
All right, click the character first. I gotta click.
Oh, I didn't click the character first, but I got 8.
Just do it and I'll put in 8.
Yeah, I can't tell if my character's clicked or not because the blue circle's not
Oh,
showing
that
up.
one's so much better. I just have the 18.
Nope. It goes both ways. I give you the good ones, but I also give you the bad ones.
Awesome. Great.
That feeling when I literally roll the same as you with -2 modifier and you have +3. Feels bad, man.
Can you all roll for perception to see if you notice them? Because they're sneaking into the room.
Oh no.
Arch has a
Ooh.
great smell, so hang on.
Sure, so he can roll a perception check as well.
Yeah, Lee.
So I was
Dang.
looking at where it was on
Yeah,
my
so as Leah is, shuffling these barrels around, and Soul has his eyes closed. He's, letting his consciousness kind of flood out to see if he detects any magic. He doesn't detect magic, but he does sense something is amiss. Just years of training with the guard, and he hears the door creak open, and he sees three men dressed in red cloaks come charging out of the door down the hallway towards Leah. I'll give you a chance to move out of the way if you want.
Oh, good. That's what I was.
'Cause
That
you
was
rolled-
in my
you rolled
head.
decent. You rolled decently on the perception as well.
Do you want a limit on how far I move?
You can move. I'll give you to here. Is
All right,
that
that's fair enough.
acceptable to you? Yeah, and also it lets me get these 3 guys in there.
That's basically what I was thinking. Like, since
Yeah.
I perceived them, could
So-
I jump back real quick?
Yeah, so the 3 of them charge in. The leader, well, not the leader, but the
Glass
one
staff.
ahead of you. The one ahead of you charges forward and he takes just one swing at you, Leah. So do you want to use your?
Yeah, I'll use it.
As you see the bandit kind of lash out at Leah, you reach over and parry the blow with your sword, but you don't actually manage to hit him. But the blow kind of knocks him off balance and he misses. The second one kind of rushes in and he's like, and he rushes by his friend and he runs up and he takes 2 swings at Sildar, and you've already used your reaction, so you can't.
Man, these guys with their... I mean, I can't really react when someone's coming into me. Oh yeah, it's Sildar. I don't give a shit about him.
Well, you can't anyways because you already used it this turn.
And I was like, I don't have
yeah.
like within reach kind of reaction either way. I don't have Polar Master.
Yeah. So he lashes out with his sword 2 quick blows, and you see the Sildar gets out of the way of the first one, and the second one's about to connect with him, but Sildar quickly takes out his sword and slashes it upwards and blocks the second blow, parrying the strike. And the ruffian just starts swearing at him, insulting him. The third one kind of holds back, waiting to see what's going to happen. He runs up towards the 4 of you, and he sees Arj kind of in the back, and he's amazed by his size, and he kind of
In more ways than one.
he takes a second, and then he takes one swing at Leah, and it connects with Leah as she's trying to dodge out of the way of the first one's attacks. You take 4 piercing damage, Leah. And Evan, seeing these 3 ruffians rush in after Leah disturbed the barrels, they look kind of groggy, like they just woke up. They were sleeping off a hangover or something.
I'll attack the one right in front of me.
So you pull back your sword and kind of jab it up and under one of the you can see some studded leather armor on him, and you kind of find a chink in the armor and manage to catch him on the side. And you can tell he's breathing quite hard. You rolled fucking well. How much damage did you fucking do? Oh, you rolled an 8. I see. Yeah. So he's bleeding profusely from that wound, and he kind of unconsciously clutches his arm, the arm without the sword to the wound, and he just starts swearing at you.
Who cares? Fuck him.
Do you want to use your
Sticks and
movement or
stones may
anything?
break my bones.
Nah.
Sure. Yeah, you're up.
I'm scared.
Sticks and stones.
I'm pretty sure if I move, they all get an attack of opportunity on me.
Wait, so when? Yeah, they do.
Unfortunately, dash doesn't prevent that. So
Sorry. You can use disengage.
Oh
as your action. And
I forgot about that, man.
It works on anyone in contact with you. So it's not just like with one guy. So you could do it for all 3 with one action.
Ooh.
And then use your movement. You wouldn't. All
But then
you
I
would
can't
have left
attack?
is a bonus action. No, all you would have left is a bonus action if you.
I don't think I got any bonus actions yet.
Yeah, and your movement. Clutching this wound on his side.
All right,
where
firebolt.
The sword slid up and under his armor.
I'm gonna help him out. Cauterize the wound from him real quick with this firebolt. Ooh.
Sure. So you start to conjure this ball of flame, and in your hands, and just launch this like thin bolt. It almost looks like a fiery arrow, right at him. And it just about misses him, but it manages to catch him as he kind of stumbles, and he stumbles kind of into it.
He literally stumbled into it. I meant to do that, guys. I meant to do that. Oh yeah.
As he stumbles into it, it impacts him in the chest and sends him flying back against the wall, and you can see his eyes roll back in the back of his head, and he falls down dead.
Toasty.
Okay, I'm just gonna growl towards the now 2 ruffians, not in an action kind of way, just flavor wise.
Yep.
And then he's gonna move behind Leah here. He's gonna cast Inflict Wounds on this dude.
Jeebus.
Whoa. What the?
That.
So you blew him up. Damn, you rolled so well. A 10, a 9, and an 8. Holy shit, dude.
Why do you get so many dice?
It's a melee spell attack. You can't reach him.
Oh, can I?
It's
Okay.
touch.
All right.
Retcon.
Let's-
Walk right over here and do it to the homie.
I don't know, because then the Leah's in the way. Like,
I
guess-
just
move
realized
through
this is
friends,
freaking
but
water.
You can't occupy the same space.
It's a
Can I,
dead body,
yeah,
though, so
can I just walk in the water, or is that?
Looking into the water, it's about 10 feet deep.
He can't occupy the space of a dead body.
No, he can. I was saying he can't occupy the space of a friend.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Looking in, you see the rim of the cistern rises up about 2 feet, so up to like your shin, and then looking down, you can see it's probably about 10 feet deep. Yeah. So Arj kind of nudges Leah and Evan to the side as he pushes through and kind of picks his way over this dead body. He steps on the foot and you can hear the bone break as he steps on this corpse. And then he just reaches out with his hands and you see them kind of infused with golden light, and he just puts his hand on this this guy's shoulder, and he just looks up at the 7-foot tall dragonborn and crumples to the ground dead.
knock one up for our team, friends. And he looks towards Evan and gives him like a smirk, and then looks towards, I assume, the dead body, and smiles.
Yes.
And I do have. No one's hurt. So there's no point. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna move him. He's sitting right here, but he is occupying this space. Seeing his two friends, just killed, his one friend almost entirely destroyed by just a touch from this massive dragon. This one, he looks around, looking like he wants to flee, but then he quickly realizes that he's completely surrounded and there's nowhere for him to go. So he decides. You can see him kind of steal his gaze. He's going to go out with a fight, and this is a new Roundsel, and he lashes out twice with his short sword at Leah, hitting both times.
Nah, he does.
And Evan, just in awe of Arj's power, is slightly distracted and just gets there too late to hit the ruffian.
Before you roll that damage, I would like to use shield.
Sure. So the ruffian brings his sword up and down onto your shoulder, directly like into your neck, and his eyes just go wide as it bounces off this sudden aura of blue light that surrounds you, and he slashes again and again. It just bounces right off your chest, and this blue light, and then it quickly dissipates, and he looks around stunned.
Leah smirks boldly.
I need some of that armor.
Sildar, up to this point, has been content just to sit back and watch, and he kind of turns to the three of you and he says, "Clearly, you have this handled." And he moves over to watch this door, to watch for anyone else coming down. Evan, you're up.
All right, time to hit this motherfucker in the face with the sword.
Evan lashes out with his sword, and this bandit is he's in, like, it almost looks like a rage, and he just steps out of the way and like he's so scared he's not even using words anymore. Up to this point, he's been insulting you in common, and now he's just like snarling and trying to lash out as much as he can. He clearly expects to die, and he's just trying to take as many of you down with him as he can.
Let's just fireball. Let's just dish a little fireball right in there.
Natural 20, here we go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you conjure this bolt of fire, and it flies towards him, and he ducks to the side, kind of throws himself up against the wall of this cistern, and it flies by, and it impacts into one of the barrels of rum, and it
rum
almost explodes. Yeah, and
you just said there was salted pork in there.
No, when you were looking, you found salted pork, flour, sugar, apples, ale, some beef.
I would have heard you say rum. I would have been drinking.
I said ale.
Dang it. A tear comes out one of Leah's eyes.
Getting drunk right before combat to give yourself disadvantage is not the best idea.
Say where the road goes
Alright,
time. Okay. See, I would like to knock this man out, but I don't quite.
I mean, you can.
You could, using a spell, you could like incapacitate him, I'd say. If you're able
Cut off his leg.
Looking at him though, he doesn't look hurt at all. Like, he doesn't look close to death or anything. That you don't see any blood.
When Arj is involved, everybody's close to death.
Apparently.
See, I would preferably like to just go up to him and smack him with a mace, but the thing is,
you can move
Evan's
through.
in the way.
You could do that, like move over top of Evan and then up here.
But isn't there barrels there?
I mean, Leah moved him all around, knocked him kind of out of the way. I'd say it's just difficult terrain that you
I
could
mean,
stand
if
there.
it is difficult,
Pick your
you could
way
eventually
through,
get
and you
behind
could
them.
move
Yeah.
into here. I would say.
Okay, then that's fine. I would like to do that and then smack him in the back of his head with my mace. So I'm gonna roll for that. 1 second.
Sure.
Whilst I...
Roll with advantage because you're behind him and he's.
You got the flank, son.
Yeah. So, so far this guy's been fully focused on this paladin, and doesn't even somehow notice this massive dragon who just killed his friend. He's like averting his eyes. He doesn't want to get anywhere near you. And so as he's focused on him, you just bring your mace down in a wide arc, and it just connects right with the back, right with his back, and just like crushes into him. You can see the armor absorbed some of it, but he definitely got hit, and he just turns and starts slashing wildly at you. But you just kind of step back out of his range.
Yeah, like the suave dragon I am. Just
Mhm.
like
Suave.
that shit.
Suave.
No one took damage. Okay, I'm gonna end my turn. I mean, I can't.
Sure.
I can't
Yeah, so now the ruffian, now, I mean, totally surrounded, convinced, he's about to die, turns on Arj, the apparently the leader of this powerful band of adventurers, and takes two quick swipes at him. The first one misses, but Arj, feeling confident, kind of laughs at him, and the second one he doesn't see comes and connects, manages to slip under some scales, and you can feel the blade bite into your the back of your leg. You take 9 critical damage, piercing.
Critical.
Damn, critical.
Seeing the blood running down your scales, the ruffian just laughs, just continues trying to, like, with little swipes, like kind of poke at you, and you just step back out of his range. Now Sildar, expecting this to be over with, kind of turns and looks at you, and he says, "Oh, all right." And you see him reach behind this cloak, the red cloak he's wearing, and he pulls out a heavy crossbow, and he takes a second to aim, and aims the sights on this ruffian, and you see a quarrel fly past. You can hear it whistle by you, Evan, as it connects, and you see it connect right into the head of this bandit, right between the eyes. And the bandit just crumples to the ground, and Sildar just kind of chuckles and says, "I guess I can be of some use."
I turn around and I'm like, "You dumb motherfucker!"
Why are you so mean to Sildar?
And Sildar stops and he goes, "What do you mean?"
We wanted him alive.
And Sildar says, "I thought you already talked to one of them. What more could he tell you?"
Yeah, but that guy was a recruit. He was a peon.
He came from in here, though. I want to know what's
And
on the other side of the door.
You see Sildar pause and go, "Well, then I apologize, but
Well,
I
fuck you."
suggest we keep moving." So the battle's over. These guys are all dead. Sildar's been watching the door, listening. He hasn't heard any. It doesn't seem like anyone has heard the fight or noticed.
Okay, you said a fireball hit a barrel of rum. Now, did it catch fire or did it just get scorched?
Stop trying to get drunk.
No, but the ale is kind of all run out, and it's just on the dirty floor.
Leah rushes over and just has a look of horror on her face.
So so you guys are out of the fight. No one seems to be coming. What do you want to do now? So
Loot the
Sildar
motherfuckers.
is standing kind of at the entrance to what looks to be. There's 2 doors in this room. The one that the bandits came out of, and the one that Sildar's in front of.
Loot the bandits.
Sure. So going through their pouches, they don't seem to have anything really of value on him. Looting the middle one, you find about 25 silver pieces on him. The one that kind of was fighting with such furious abandon, his sword seems like it's, compared to the rest of them, where you found they're not rusty or terrible like the goblins, but a lot of them are clearly old notches. Some of them are a little dull. His seems to be in much better condition. You could probably sell it or use it as a decent weapon.
What is
But
it?
other than that-
Short sword.
Short sword. But other than that, I mean, they're all wearing their trademark red cloaks. These ones seem to be in slightly better condition than the ones you're wearing. Other than a couple of now sword and the a scorch mark here or there. These ones are in. Looking at the other ones, they were clearly the last remaining cloaks they gave to the new recruits that you're wearing.
Can we combine enough cloaks to hide Arj?
I mean, you don't think there would be having of the people you've seen so far. I mean, you may be able to fashion a cloak, but they've never seen so far they've all been human, and a 7-foot dragon is going to stand out whether he's in a cloak or not.
Really tall human. All right, fuck it.
Would it be possible to attempt to patch up the cut of my leg if I did a medicine check, or?
Sure. I mean, you could. It's already it's stopped bleeding, and at this point, it'll just take time to heal. Your dragon scales are a pretty good natural armor, combined with the armor you're wearing now. And being a priest, obviously magic could mend the skin and stitch it together, but nothing you could do now would really help your state. It's not causing you any. It just twinges every now and then.
So wait, how much damage did you take, Arch?
I took 9.
So yeah, I'll heal him for 5.
Sure. So you walk over, picking your way over these bodies. You put your hand on Arj, and Arj, you feel a familiar feeling. Being cleric, you're used to the feeling of, and you feel, you feel the wound kind of start to close. It kind of itches like a cut does when it starts to heal, and you feel a little bit stronger.
I nod my head in agreement and then look towards the door behind me. Sure. I think that's a door. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that is a door.
Yes.
Leo, how much damage did you take?
Also, you guys can take
a bit.
Can take 75 XP for defeating those. Arj, I added the XP you got from not this time, but from last time, so you don't have to worry out there.
I'm sorry, we got XP just now. What was it?
You got 75 XP for defeating.
I was gonna say, can I listen up towards this door and see?
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception check. Yeah, so you put your.
Oh, sorry, I need to just.
That's fine. You just take. You always take the first one, anyways.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. You put your head up to the door. You don't hear any noise. You think you hear something, but you realize it's just a rat kind of running along little claws on the ground. But you don't hear any signs of anyone inside the room at all.
Can I then open the door based on that, or?
Yeah.
Someone else wants to do anything. I mean, I don't know. Just.
Open the door for you.
Yeah, should be fine for a bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk in behind him just in case anything goes down. Sildar still gonna stay by his door.
There you go. Door is now open. Yeah, Sildar.
Yeah, tell him. Yeah, just he's fine where.
Sildar. I mean, he's kind of been wandering around the room, checking out some of the barrels. But he's been keeping an eye on the door. You can tell that he's obviously a trained soldier. He's ready for something, but just in case. Yeah.
He says so.
Yeah. So you see the door swing open, Arj. It wasn't locked. These guys just ran through it, and as you walk in, which one of you has the torch? Does Sildar have the torch? Yeah.
Sildar.
Sildar
walks in. I'll be over here just in case for the door.
Sure. Yeah. So Sildar walks in. You see the room. You see some more barrels, and Sildar kind of examines them. They're the same type of thing. Some flour, just supplies, really. You notice a couple.
I could potentially mention to Leah. Or...
No, you don't see any ale stored in here. You do notice at the foot of the beds, you see there's some. They look like foot lockers almost.
Can I loot them?
Yeah, sure. So you go up to them. They're not locked or anything. They're just they're boxes. You see inside. The first one has 16 silver pieces and 7 gold pieces.
Nice.
And Sildar, while you're doing that, opens up the second one in front of the other bed, and you see him pull out 15 electrum pieces and 2 garnets, which are clear gemstones, and they've been cut. And you recognize them as being worth about 10 gold pieces each. And you see Sildar kind of look around, see you watching, and then walk over and hand them to Evan, who up to this point has been the kind of the keeper of the group's gold.
Yep.
So you can
I'm
add.
keeping a hold of my 7.
Yeah, you don't even have to tell anyone about that if you don't want to.
No, I don't.
So
Yeah. So Sildar says, I found, and he hands you 15 EP, which are electrum
Yeah, Electrum. Okay.
pieces, and two garnets. They don't have any weight to them. They're just like cut gemstones. You've seen your fair share of gems in tombs and stuff, and you think, to a jeweler you could, or a shopkeeper, you could probably get them for about 10 gold pieces, or maybe use them in trade as
Ooh,
each 10 each. So
that's pretty good.
and then along the wall you
Hey,
see
pretty
a
good.
few more dirty scarlet cloaks hanging off the bunks. I'll give you a torch, Evan. We'll say that there's a torch, like an unlit torch, just in this hallway. Do you want to light it?
Yeah.
Leah's just chewing on a snack, leaning against the fountain.
Yeah. So Sildar, you see a torch just kind of in a sconce on the wall. You pull it out. Is there anything else you want to do in this room, or in the other room?
Not only if that's all there was. The boxes, not really. I can't think of anything.
10 minutes have already passed, right?
Yeah, spending the time searching around the room, looting the corpses.
Right.
Yeah, it's been about 10 minutes.
Bye detect magic.
And in that time, you've been kind of in the back of your mind focusing. You didn't sense anything.
Yeah. I didn't
He
do
detected
constitution
me.
checks when I got hit either way. Oh no, I didn't get hit, so never mind.
Oh wait, did you lay on hands me?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, you took 4 points of damage. You're all right.
Mhm. Just
I think.
confirming.
What's your?
See Leah in the corner whimpering, and you go.
What
up to
the
her and
fuck are you
look, and
talking
a little-
about?
She has like a little, almost like a paper cut on the side of her arm.
Why do you guys keep trying to freaking frame Lee as a baby?
What's it?
I haven't
What's
said
your
anything.
current HP run? It's all Jorser, honestly, but what's your current HP?
I'm at 12 out of 16.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I still have
I was
5
just
points in
confirming
case
whether
anything
you
happens.
used it or not.
No, I didn't.
That's it. That's
Fine.
Lee's
So yeah,
chilling.
so he's been watching this door since he went over there. Can I perception check to see if I hear anything? side of
Sure.
it.
Why don't, I mean, do you guys all want to search the room? Just for anything else you might have missed. Well, you searched the barrels, and that's what caused the kerfuffle. But other than that, you haven't actually done any searching whatsoever.
I guess I'm gonna search this corner over here.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
The walls and all that. For any
Sure. Yeah. Give me
spoopy traps. I don't know what the fuck is going on in my life right now.
Leah, out of curiosity, just pokes her head into that room real quick.
Yeah, sure. So you look into the room, you see more of the same barrels, 2 beds. You see 2 open footlockers that are now empty. Which is where Sildar pulled out the gems from. So looking around, you see, the same barrels that you've seen throughout this whole place. You don't see anything. You kind of push on some stones in the wall, but you don't really find anything.
Trying to find those secret walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lay on the bed.
You lay down and you feel the mattress almost squish, like it's
I get off the bed.
it's not a very good mattress, and it's been in this damp cellar for ages. It's not a very comfortable bed at all.
Leah needs this fountain. Whatever that squish is, she's washing that off. That's all. That's
Give me
getting out of
a
here.
perception check.
Oh, for the squish?
It's actually acid, and you take 10
What?
points of necrotic damage.
Oh, for the fountain.
So as you put your hands into the water, you feel
It's
like
feces.
some sort of rope.
A rope.
And you pull on the rope, and you see it was hanging in a waterproof sack about 5 feet down under the water, submerged. You pull it out, and it has you open it up, and you see it has inside it a potion of healing, a potion of invisibility,
Ooh.
50 gold pieces, and a clean set of ordinary clothing. It looks like it's like a getaway kit for if someone was escaping, they would grab this and as they were running.
What kind of
So, yeah.
clothes? Just regular, just plain clothes?
It's just a clean set of travel clothing. So it's like a cloak for some weather, and essentially, if you wore it, you wouldn't stand out in a city.
Leah smirks greedily.
Yeah, none of the other people know you found this, by the way.
Leah just ties it to her pouch and then immediately forgets about it. And then
real quiet, pulled out a set of clothing, 50 gold, 2 potions.
Well, I mean, you guys are Evan. You were checking out the wall.
Yeah,
while
no,
this was
I'm talking.
happening.
I know.
Arj was his back to her.
He ties that pouch to her belt, forgets about it. Immediately, as soon as it's out of her sight, she forgets she even has it.
Give me a sleight of hand check. Yeah. So as you're tying it to your belt, the 2 potions that are in it kind of clash together, and Sildar and Arj hear it, and they turn around and they see you with this pouch, and Sildar says, "Hey, what's that?"
It's a secret pouch. I just found this in the fountain, dude.
So now you guys know about what she's found, or at least Arj does.
I mean,
I
I
still
have
don't know.
no particular interest for.
No, it's fine. I'm just
This foolish
you know,
little girl holds on to her precious belongings.
yeah. So
Only the divine faith stronghold
so
to me.
Sildar's a little more interested, and he prods you, and you tell him, it's a potion of healing. There's a potion of invisibility, and when he hears potion of invisibility, he kind of pauses, and then he looks at the three of you in your cloaks, and then looks up at this dragon, and he kind of looks back at Leah, and he goes like, "Come on, like."
That's a good idea, Sildar. Arj, you want this potion of invisibility just in case?
I mean, if I can bless it with Bahamut's divine blessings, then of course.
What does that mean? Leah just stands there bewildered, like, what?
Are you disowning
So-
my Lord Bahamut?
So she hands over this potion.
A little confused.
It weighs about half a pound, and you look, and it looks empty when you first look, but you kind of swish it around, and you can feel
It's
something.
invisible.
You can feel something sloshing inside, so it's clearly there, and you recognize it as an invisibility potion, which if you drink it, you'll become invisible for an hour, and having seen this spell, as a cleric, you know that anything you wear or carry also becomes invisible.
Does this affect, like, if I hit someone? Do they
It
know
lasts
that?
until you take an action, like an attack or cast a spell.
Like
It's not
Skyrim.
greater. It's not greater invisibility.
I will hold on to it.
Yeah,
until
you
I
don't have to
deem
drink it now.
necessary.
Yeah, so and Leah, so the potion of healing weighs half a pound. And did you take the clothes with you, or are you just leaving them? They're just ordinary clothes. There's nothing. But you have
Well,
a set yourself already that you wear when you're not in your armor.
yeah, I guess Leah wouldn't take the extra clothes.
Sure. So you
I
just see
would.
Leah kind of.
I would.
You see Leah pull. I mean, and you look. They're clearly men's clothes as well.
All right, so I just hold up the clothes and be like, Sildar, you want these clothes?
Sildar looks at them and he says, "There's no way those would fit."
What the
And-
heck? How big are these clothes?
Wait, is Sildar fat as fuck?
No. Just I mean, Sildar kind of gets closer and he looks at them and he says, "Even if they would, what use do I have for clothes?"
I don't know, it's clothes.
He gestures. He
I'm gonna-
gestures to himself. He's clearly wearing clothing.
Yeah, but you are you gonna wear those clothes for the rest of your life? That's it? Just that one pair?
He thinks for a second. He says, "Well, I'd rather wear these than clothes you found in a well."
Yeah, but they're secret clothes. They're secret.
Yeah, they might be enchanted.
No, why would they be enchanted? They're just
You
secret.
found them in a
You
well.
would have sensed the magic, Evan, if they were magical.
True.
Mhm. I would have sensed the magic in the room.
Alright,
I should
well-
have sensed that fucking potion. All right.
So, well, I guess I just lay
It
the
has no
clothes on the
magical
edge of
aura.
the
It's not a
fountain.
magical potion.
right. I'm gonna
How
perception
much
this
does the
door.
potion of invisibility weigh?
Okay, give me a perception check. Sorry, what were you saying, Arch?
How much does the potion of
Oh
invisibility weigh?
my
0.5, so half a pound. Yeah, I mean, you don't see it. It just looks like a door to you. You don't.
My shit's fucking rigged.
What? Oh,
No, I rolled a
five?
3 and
Oh,
I rolled a
fuck.
4 and then a 3.
You actually
fucking-
rolled like 8, 9, 8, 6, 5. You haven't gotten above a 10 yet.
All right,
I
could I
know.
could I say that Leah notices Eve peering through the door and gets curious and decides to go over there and peer through the door?
I mean, you see Evan. He's kind of like feeling the door, feeling around, looking for
I
traps.
Oh, he
opened
didn't
the
open
door.
it yet. Okay.
I'm
Sure,
opening
yeah.
the door.
Just give me one sec. Yeah, so the door just kind of swings open into a hallway. Let's see if I can do this. It's
We all
gonna be
hear the
difficult.
door open.
I can't like show you, but there isn't anything there, or like it opens into like a hallway, and you don't hear any screams, so you don't think he's fallen victim to anything.
Help! Help!
What the?
So Sildar seeing this
I have
follow
fallen
you.
and I can't get up.
All right, well,
Arj has been cast into darkness, so Sildar ran ahead, so he comes back and helps him.
I swear to God, this next perception check is gonna be a fucking 20.
Yeah, so you walk through, you see thick dust covering the flagstones of this this drab hallway. The walls are decorated with faux columns every 10 feet, and the double doors at the west end of the hall that you can see are sheathed in copper plate, now green with age. and you see above the door and kind of on it, you see a carving of a mournful angel.
Javelin,
Can
the
I-
angel.
What?
Can I religion check that?
Sure, give me a religion check.
Oh yeah, can I can assist that, can I? Or whatever, fuck it, you got a 15.
Yeah, so seeing it, you don't recognize it as a specific god, but you do recognize it as a common marking of a crypt or like a burial site.
Right. Okay, can I
I
go
shall- I'll
right
share
up
this
to the door?
information with my party members.
Sure, give me a perception check.
Thank God it wasn't a fucking 2. It was the next one on the list.
Yeah, so as you step right here, you feel the ground below you give away. Give me a acrobatics check with advantage.
Alright, I'm not seeing acrobatics. You mean athletics?
Acrobatics.
Okay,
Where,
You-
oh,
you-
there it is. Wow, I'm fucking retarded. Excuse me.
You said the
Yeah,
ground
so-
crumbled?
So yeah, and you feel a very similar feeling to when you were walking along the trail and fell into that pit, and you managed to reach out and grab onto the ledge of on the side of the wall as the whole ground crashes to the ground about 20 feet below you into a big dirt pit, and you manage to scramble back up and kind of plaster yourself up against the side of the wall where there's two very thin ledges that you think you could make it across. This part of the hall is collapsed in,
Mhm.
and you see Evan just
To the
kind of
side.
plaster himself to the side of the wall. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
so
it's
I'm
like
gonna-
maybe not even quite a foot of space on either end where you could maybe shimmy along in between the two pillars.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to shimmy my way over to this end.
Okay, give me a dexterity, or sorry, give me another acrobatics check, not with advantage this time. Yeah, so you manage to shimmy across. As you step, you kind of cause a little bit of a landslide as part of the thing below your feet kind of breaks away and falls down, but you manage to cross it, no problem.
Alright.
Sildar also kind of same thing, but on the other side.
Never mind. I was gonna throw a rope just in case people fell, but whatever.
I don't.
Sildar can
I
die.
mean, if someone falls, they can use the rope to climb out, but it won't help them cross.
Well, no, I know, but like, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe like take less damage because they just like slam into the wall instead of like 20 feet down.
Yeah. So Sildar actually he does manage to he slips and he falls 20 feet down.
There we go.
What a tool.
He takes five damage as he falls.
Didn't want to let me toss the rope. He's like, oh, I got this too. Same with the
So that-
fucking crossbow to the forehead.
Sildar's a tough motherfucker though.
So there's a bitch.
Still has a 22 HP. Yeah. So Sildar with the help of the rope manages to climb up and out of the pit.
Oh, it's a big
am I
pit.
able to make hang on an acrobatics jump across?
The pit is way too far
Oh,
for you to be able to
athletics.
jump. The only way across is to skirt along the edge. But
How
if
tall
you
is
wanna
the
cross-
ceiling?
you'll have to give me an acrobatics check. It's 20 feet down, and it's about 15 to 20 feet across.
But the
Yeah,
ceiling.
I'm falling in this hole. Oh no, I'm not.
Oh, with
You
amazing
skip along the
dexterity,
side.
with amazing dexterity, you see the dragon like leap from one end of the wall to the other, and with ease just kind of navigate and cross to the other side of the pit.
Can I do a
Are you a
ballerina
ninja?
twirl as I land?
Yeah, and as he lands, he does a little twirl and just kind of and shoots the finger guns at Sildar.
Yes, the finger gun.
But I'm a 7-foot dragon and I weigh like double you, and I got over easily, old man. And I gave him a little smirk.
Leah's a little bit in awe because that's the weirdest thing she's ever seen.
Well, and you just watched this dragon, who up till now has been the clumsiest motherfucker you've seen. You know, he tripped eating an egg,
And then he just
and
did
now
a
you just saw
flip.
him expertly navigate this 20-foot by 20-foot.
Hang on. I'll just
And
have
the
trouble
finger
remembering
guns.
This situation.
Yeah.
Can I have a remembering? Of
Yeah, well,
what-
so on your way to the forest, when you were attempting to climb up the ledge up to that led up to this manor, you grabbed onto the rope and about 2 feet up started choking on a piece of shell that had gotten caught in your throat and just fell back prone.
'Cause you were eating
And
boiled
then-
eggs all
Yeah,
morning.
and then immediately puked because this wonderful hospitable half elf served you like 12 hard-boiled eggs
And you were
Um,
really enamored with
and
them.
slipped a couple into your pocket before you left as well. So you were really into them. You were eating them, and you rolled a natural one on the rope climb check and fell down prone while choking on an egg. Each of you can take
Right.
25 XP for navigating the trap.
Well, Leah still hasn't yet. So.
Yeah, I was asking how tall the ceiling is because I'm wondering, can I use my quarterstaff to pole vault over this sucker?
Oh my god.
No. Looking
Dang
at it, it's way too far. And best case is you won't break the staff. Worst case is it'll just snap in two and cause you to tumble down the pit.
It's not flexible.
All right, that makes sense.
Can I like prepare for Leah to fall down? So
That's what the rope is for.
Yeah,
like,
well,
I
you
tossed
see-
the
you
No,
rope.
but I mean like
Sildar
to stop
had
her
s-
falling all the way down.
I mean, looking at how deep this is, like it's straight up walls. You don't think there'd be much to do. You could certainly help her out, but there isn't really anything to help her across.
Like 5 feet over, just reach out
So
arm
not
and swing
like-
her in.
If I see her like almost like tripping off, I can't like reach out. And grab her.
If she's if she makes it past, you could maybe reach out an arm, but depends. So just roll an
Well-
acrobatics check.
What if I throw my rope? Could I throw my rope to them? So it's like I could.
There's already
There's already a
there's
rope.
There's
Okay.
already a rope on your end that I'm holding.
Okay, all right.
there's a rope that goes down into this pit, so you can use it to climb out. But a rope won't help you get across. The only way across this pit is to shimmy along the wall.
Well, I mean, the rope would be so like if I fall, like they
That's
could
what I
they
said
they
too.
could
Yeah, we
grip
could swing,
so that I
like,
won't
you
hit
just
the
swing into
floor.
wall.
Yeah, there's nothing really
fuck
to
it.
attach it to, and the walls are flat, and the pillars you see are ornate, but there's nothing really.
No,
to...
it would be us. Like,
Yeah,
we'd be
they're
holding
holding
like,
it,
like
and
tug of war
and I
shit.
have the
Okay,
other end
well,
like
so
tied
I'm
around
trying
me.
to- trying to
Just
picture
do
how
your
like,
fucking acrobatics check.
All right.
Me and Joyce already had this conversation.
Yeah, I mean you have no trouble gliding along. Not quite as acrobatic as the big dragon man, but good
Right.
enough.
I'm gonna go ahead and use divine sense while we're right in front of this crypt.
Yeah, so you kind of again you open your consciousness and your awareness to try to detect any evil presence.
Fuck, never mind. Shit.
What? What happened?
But you don't feel anything. I'll say that you can see through the door. I'm not. gonna
Yeah,
really
I
keep
just
walking
thought of
by
that.
the
I
door.
just read that, like, not behind total cover. I'm like, well, fucking hell.
Yeah, but and you can sense you don't sense any consecrated or desecrated ground inside. But yeah, you don't sense anything.
This is a double
Yeah,
door?
so you open the door, you see it open up. You see two crypts, and as you step inside, you see a third. There's three large stone sarcophagi that stand in this dusty crypt, and you see propped up against each sarcophagi is a human skeleton, clad in bits of rusty mail. And again, the same false columns that you saw in the hallway behind you are carved in the image of spreading oak trees. And the double doors behind you that you just opened are again sheathed in this tarnished, now green from age copper plate.
Should I hand? Are there enemies in here? Is that?
No, at the moment. I mean, I
mean,
detected. I used divine sense, so if there was undead, I'd be able to detect them at least, like, generally,
Okay.
like being like enemies nearby, kind of thing.
And as you do that, you feel a twinge of something. You don't detect like anything, but you feel a presence from within the sarcophagi, which were initially through the door, through the heavy stone of you couldn't detect it until you got a little closer, and now it's not a magical, but you feel a presence.
Can I perception check the room? See if there's another little fucking trap waiting for me.
Sure, give me a perception check.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, so you look around, you still get this sense, you get closer to the sarcophagi, and you notice on each one is, it's carved to depict the person entombed inside of it. You see two human males and one human female, all look noble. So,
I'm gonna go ahead and turn to the party. Should we investigate these tombs, or should we try to just pass on by?
I mean,
Leah looks at you like,
desecrating
why are we going to
tombs.
investigate tombs?
If they feel off.
I mean,
Leah looks
of
at
all
you
people
confused.
should know, Evan, that desecrating tombs is against most holy orders.
Oh,
I mean, if you
It
believe
depends.
that if you're confident that there may be some dangers lying within, then I will follow you through with this. But I will not enjoy doing so. That's for certain.
Well
I mean,
said.
if it's undead, that's our job.
Not all clerics are against undead. That's kind of the paladin's world.
Yeah, well, it's my job actually. So all right, let's just try to shimmy on through then. Should we check the right or the north?
Freaking-
And let me see if there's anything.
Which one's the female's tomb, by the way?
The one that's kind of on its own on the right there.
Well, I would prefer to go right, just based on out of character, based on the
Yeah.
map.
So
I mean, there's-
as you come up to the door, Evan, the feeling you have, you feel stirring, and then it kind of quiets.
What? What do you mean? I feel stirring, like my tummy hurts?
No, like the presence you were sensing, you feel it like almost like it's like awakening, but then it kind of it goes back to just this dull pulse of.
All right. I'm gonna...
As Arj moves forward, the three skeletons in the crypts start to wake up. Roll for initiative.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about. I'm like, they go back to
Yeah.
sleep, but that doesn't seem right.
It was only when Arj moved up.
Oh,
You don't know why it was.
maybe because my holy
It's
presence.
Your holy symbol, you motherfucker.
I'm sure that you have one as well of some sort.
But mine's like Tempest. It's like a god of war.
Battle isn't even.
Yeah, yours is like the god that like guides create like mankind. Like
Mm,
you like
I
guide all the
suppose.
creatures of good. Like you're like the holiest of holy.
I mean, I will say, just because your characters would know this, it is very odd to you that it was Arj and not you that caused them, because Arj has nothing inherently against the undead. In some clerics, they're not bad by definition to clerics like they are to paladins. So it is very odd to you that it would be Arj that.
Sure.
It has to be. It's probably not that he's a cleric. Yeah. So as Arj steps closer to the door, you hear this really unnerving noise as the bones that are in the crypt start to kind of knit together with this dark magic, and they slowly sit up, and their gaze just shifts right to Arj. They seemingly ignore Evan, Sildar, and Leah, and are focusing solely on Arj. And as this happens, Sildar is just his eyes are wide, and he's like, "Holy fuck!"
Is that what we're gonna use as an excuse for his non-initiative?
No, I'm still rolling for. I just had to roll for all the skeletons first.
All right, Leah smirks and she says, "It's time for target practice."
It's time to.
Okay, no, get out, no.
Yo.
Get out of here with that. All right.
Why do you have -1 spell slots?
That's how I'm
Did you
keeping
use
track of how
4?
many I use.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I've used one today, so I have -1.
You guys are fucking weird as shit.
I mean,
I was
mine
gonna-
isn't weird. I'm just-
You know, you could count down. Like that's what I was gonna do at the start. Like 2 out of 2
Yeah.
used one out of
I
2.
mean, that one still makes more sense to me than fucking. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
All right, so fireball.
So you conjure again, like you've done many times in this dungeon. You conjure this bolt of fire, and you launch it towards the skeleton, and it managed to impact one of the like metal. It's like the armor it's wearing is decayed and falling off, and it impacts into the metal, and you see its shoulder kind of fly back. Which one did you attack?
The one on the left here.
This one? Okay, yeah. So roll for damage.
Ho ho.
Yeah, so you see it impact in the skeleton. Its gaze it doesn't even fall from Arj. Like it almost doesn't even notice your presence. This skeleton gets up and it moves towards you, Arj, and it takes a swing with its short sword. Yeah, so it pulls back its sword, Arj, and kind of it just barely clips the scales, but you can feel it again piercing into you for 5 damage. Now, Evan, you're up, and now you feel that unpleasant feeling that you were feeling is now like it's like a pulsing headache as you see these undead creatures that have no place in this world.
All right. I'm gonna move here through Arj down to this one here.
Yeah, sure.
So I can attack other homie.
Yeah, so
And I'm gonna add. I'm gonna divine smite it. So 10 plus 3d8.
Yeah, so your sword, as you pull it back, like it looks almost like this golden divine flame kind of encases the blade, and and all the skeletons who have so far been totally focused on Arj, they
And I yell
For a
by the
second-
power of Grey Castle. Yes.
yes, yes.
By the
And
power of Grey
for
Castle.
just a second, they all look towards the blade, and if they were capable of feeling fear, you think that as close as skeletons can come, they look terrified as the skeleton just the bones, this magic that was holding them together just disappears, and it just falls down in a crash in a pile of bones and armor, just gone and almost indistinguishable amongst the bones in the crypt.
Bludgeoning damage, is that do I have any bonuses to like the weak bodily form of the skeleton, or is that also
You don't know.
9?
You wouldn't know.
Well, I would like to healing word myself.
Okay, that's a bonus action, right?
Yes, it is.
Sure. Yeah, so you see Arj kind of just pause and look up to the heavens as you see some of the scales that have been ripped off kind of reform, and he looks refreshed.
And then I'm going to smack this skeleton in the face, preferably with my mace, the one in front
Sure.
of me.
Yeah, so you bring your mace down and you crash it in, and as it impacts these bones, some of them just break as you bring it through, and you can tell that whatever magic is holding this together is about to fall apart, as he is looking very, very poorly. And as you see the mace just crush through, you see that it does a lot more damage than you were expecting.
I'm not going to move because he'll get an attack of opportunity, I believe, so I'll stay what I am.
Skeletor's turn. Yeah, so the skeleton.
Skeletor?
The skeleton, even after, he was briefly distracted by Evan's flaming sword, but once again he refocused right onto Arj, and you see him pull out a short bow and take aim at Arj. The arrow, though, just goes whistling by. The muscle that this skeleton had in life clearly are not as useful now, and the arrow just kind of clatters to the ground behind him, missing. Sildar, still taken aback by these skeletons that appeared out of nowhere, lets out a battle cry and charges towards the one on the left, swinging with his sword, making contact. And you see the sword pass through the rib cage without actually impacting and just catch. And you see again the magic, with a dark energy, kind of dissipates, and the bones clatter to the ground. And Sildar, now seeing, two of these defeated, you can see he's a little more at ease. He was pretty put back by seeing these undead monstrosities rise. Now he seems to have regained his composure.
Was he not rallied by the power of Grayskull?
Yeah, that's certainly what gave him the courage that they could be defeated. So he charged when he
got an
charged towards.
inspiration dice for that.
The remaining skeleton doesn't even seem to notice that his friends are, gone. Clearly, it's not a thinking monster. It's just obeying orders. Or
Still looking at that Arj.
Mm-hmm.
Still looking at that dragon booty. All right. So Leah's a little confused about these skeletons. She decides to just walk right over to that man, and she decides to hit him with the quarterstaff to see if she can get a reaction out of him. He's make him turn or something. Well,
yeah, so you bring the quarterstaff back, and it catches on the armor, and the skeleton just kind of doesn't seem to be affected by the blow. So the skeleton lashes out at Arj again. Yeah. So yeah, you're able to catch him, and as the arm is reaching out to stab Arj, you just bring your sword down two-handed and chop it off, and it falls limp, and you see again the magic disappear, and he crumples to a pile of bones on the ground.
Look over, Arj. I got you, buddy. This is my field.
Each of you can take
1,000 XP.
We level up.
35 XP.
Leah prods the skeleton corpse with her staff.
Yeah, it's just a pile of bones now. you see little bits of armor mixed in with, you see a shin bone here or there, the skull, the mouth kind of agape, but they're totally inert.
I just want to say, can I make some sort of check to see what was causing the skeletons to react so violently towards me?
Sure, give me a wisdom check.
Would I be able to assist that
wisdom
since
save,
I'm a
is that-
paladin and this is a
Sure,
convention?
Yeah, that's a wisdom save. You can do it with advantage because you've got a paladin there. You and Evan you take a second, and it suddenly dawns on you that the only difference between you and the other members of your party is the cloak. The other three are wearing a cloak from the Redbrand. And it seems that whether it was intentional or not, the skeletons only seem to see you as a threat.
Huh.
I knew we should have made him a big one.
Just zone one real quick.
Yeah. Those
I
other
think
three in the room, we could have gotten all three together and made him a big cloak.
So here's what we should do. We should make Evan get rid of his one.
Yeah,
in case we
I'm-
come across more
Yeah, I'm getting
skeletons.
rid of mine.
Of your cloak?
Taking your cloak off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
keep my
there
cloak
be-
on.
Is there
Yeah,
any
definitely.
way that I can put some form of cloak on, or would you say I'm too big for him to? Like, even if it didn't fit me properly, would
Like
it-
just being on his person with that.
I mean, with just the one Evan has, you guys didn't take the ones that were in the room. I mean, you could wear it. You don't know if it would work. You have no way of knowing. But I
Okay,
mean,
wear it as like a
yeah, you could
little
put it on
shoulder
as like
cloak.
one of those shoulder cloaks that you see
Yeah.
in animes. and
He looks
shit.
like a duelist,
yeah,
like
yeah.
a Spaniard.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that then.
Oh, can we
Okay.
search the? Sorry, I'm gonna search the sarcophagi.
Yep. So
I
yeah,
was just gonna turn away in disdain at the fact that his friend is going through dead people's belongings.
yeah. So
Well,
give
he's
me
gotta
give
be
me a
100%.
perception check.
Does Sildar have a cloak on? A red cloak?
Yes,
Nah.
he does.
God damn it! Just gets lower and
You
lower.
can ask him to. Yeah. So rummaging around in the bones,
I want to
kinda
find like
pushing ashes
necromancy
to the
shit.
side, pushing ashes to the side. You're not. You think you see a glint of something, but you bury it just with your fumbling. You're not able to find anything. Sildar is kind of rummaging around one of the other ones.
So there's no like necromancy focuses or something.
No, and you don't detect
Oh, that's right. I
any
didn't detect
more-
anything. Yeah.
anymore. Now that the crypts are open, you don't like it's not even. You just don't. You're feeling. Your gut is kind of gone, and you feel.
His gut's gone. Oh my god.
You feel pretty confident that whatever magic has dissipated. Sildar rummaging through the other one, he's not able to find anything either. Does anyone want to? There's 3, so you guys could check the last one if you want.
I guess I'll check the last one just in case.
Sure. Give me another perception check. Yeah. So rummaging through these ones, you see another glint, and you pull it out, and you see it looks like a ring with some sort of signet on it, made of platinum. That would probably fetch a pretty penny, to the right kind of collector.
And it's
And nothing else inside the crypt. Stuff. And at this point, Arj is kind of just turned away. He refuses
Yeah.
to watch as you
No.
defile the.
I'm not
the bones.
defiling like fuck. I mean, we already
Well,
defiled
to
them
him.
as soon as we fought them.
Yeah.
Like you knocked the bone already, so
Yeah.
you defiled some shit too if you want to look at it that way. But no, I'm
I think
I'm
Arj
moving
would
back
see it
down.
differently.
In Arj's mind, killing something that attacked him is not the
Yeah.
same as rummaging through a dead person.
Well, no, I'm
belongings.
fucking just looking for necromancy shit. God damn, I'm putting the ring back.
Oh,
So you didn't take
okay.
the ring?
Nope.
Okay.
He just wants to be
Well, I
sure the
wouldn't know
evil's
about
gone.
this as I'm looking in the opposite direction.
Well, he did just say I'm putting the ring back, so you would have heard that.
Was that in character though? I'm just
I
Sildar-
am the grayscale. I am not a looter. I will put this ring back where it rightfully belongs.
Sildar sees you put the ring back, and he kind of saunters up and looks around and just kind of bends down and picks it up and puts it in his pocket.
What the? Do any of us
I
notice
smack
it?
him. I smack him with my shield for non-lethal, non-damaging damage.
Can I roll
You
a
kinda-
perception check to scold him for taking
Sure. Give me a
Intimidation.
perception.
Intimidation check.
Now, is there
Again?
anything?
it?
Hold on, let me roll
What?
for him because this is against his.
This is funny.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah, it's gonna be Sildar's sleight of hand.
Yeah. So yeah, he's not as subtle as he thinks as he reaches down and pulls pockets, and you notice the glint slipping into his thing, and you notice he's looking very suspicious, not in like a bad way, just in
No.
like ooh, I'm gonna be able to sell this shit. Yeah. So you
I
did
took-
notice
I
him.
took you for a soldier, not a common looter.
I mean,
He says, he turns to you and he looks hurt that you'd say that, but and he turns to you and he says, I mean, I feel like they kind of owe us something after trying to kill us.
I mean, they tried to kill me, not you, but
Oh.
I appreciate it.
when you say that, he kind of looks away, embarrassed, like, well, it's not my fault that you're a 7-foot dragon.
Maybe it is Sildar. Maybe something you could have done in the past would have prevented his birth.
what the fuck?
Sildar looks more and more confused and just starts laughing, like in that like way where it's like, yeah, just trying to kind of change the subject.
The tape is driving me crazy.
The platinum
already
ring was just a
perception checked
regular
around.
ring, right? It wasn't.
Yeah,
Right.
it wasn't
all right.
magical. I would have detected it.
Sure.
No, I wouldn't have. Not from the other room. Nah, I wouldn't have. But I don't know.
Nope.
Let's see.
Looking at it, like it's clearly just a ring that these were clearly nobles.
Yeah, just a
probably
family ring.
whatever manner this used to be. It was just one of their signet rings that they would have used to, sign in wax the family seal.
Ooh.
If one of us was a rogue, we could do some forgery shit. But never mind.
I mean, it's a long dead.
It doesn't
family.
matter. People don't know.
You just fake that you're a noble.
Yeah.
They don't.
You walk into Neverwinter and we're like, we're from a distant land. Here's our noble sign. They don't know shit. Either way,
None of our characters thought of that.
we're not rogues. Arj,
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go through the door, seeing as I'm now adorning this fantastically looking
Looking
Shoulder
regal.
cloak.
cloak.
this is real nice.
Sure.
Looking like you need a platinum ring on that
Yeah.
finger.
Napkin on
hang
your shoulder.
Does
A
Zen
napkin.
have a torch out, or
I do. I have a torch.
Yeah.
can you pass me the torch?
Okay. I had them the
I'm
torch.
going through? And I'm gonna. I don't know if you want me to walk through the door.
No,
or what,
don't.
Jawson.
Give me one sec. I'm just
Yeah,
taking the
that-
torch off him.
Don't do the trap.
Everyone roll for initiative.
Awesome.
Here we go, boys.
And you are also surprised.
What?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Look, I have 16. Get out of the way, boys.
Well, I mean, we're still surprised.
Yeah, so they get a turn to act before you do.
Yeah, they get the
before it
surprise
goes
round.
to the
And I can't use my reactions to surprise. No, I can't.
No, you're
No.
no.
I gotta
Yeah.
get that
Oh.
alert feat.
Good luck, Arch. Yeah, that's what I was gonna be probably my next feat, either that or Shield
Right.
Master.
Seeing as I'm in this red cloak, are they not gonna be like?
Well, it's a shoulder cloak. You have a napkin on your shoulder.
They were
basically.
alerted by the fighting, and they hid by the side of the door, so they know they're expecting you, which is why they get surprised.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just wasn't sure if I
Yeah,
was
no.
disguised enough that.
No.
If you had made it through without being attacked, they may have been more likely to be surprised. But because they heard the fighting, they knew that clearly this was someone who didn't belong, and they were ready.
Homie got that hop 3.
He rolled a 1, and he
Oh,
gets
that's
plus
amazing.
2.
Natural 1 means he doesn't get his surprise turn. He fumbles.
No, he still gets. So yeah, so Arj swings open the door and kind of takes a step in, and all of a sudden you notice out of the corner of your eye these two humans dressed in the red cloaks, and they both make 2 attacks against you.
Oh god.
What's your
Oh,
AC?
boy.
14.
Yeah.
So just you fall under this flurry of blows. You at first you don't know where they're coming from until you notice there's these 2 people that have been pressed up against the wall waiting for you to come through the door. You take 16 damage.
Okay, well,
15
I'm dead.
sorry 15 damage.
Okay,
I
I'm
actually
not dead yet.
miscalculated. Yeah, it's just this flurry of blows as these jump up to surprise you. Luckily you get to go first.
Can I
but
try- am I going first now, or
it is now your turn, yes.
Okay.
And sorry, just as you walked in, you see a long room partitioned into 3 areas, 2 iron bars walling off the north and south, filthy straw in the shape of kind of beds, and the hinged doors secured with padlocks. And you see in the south a pair of disheveled human women tied up, and a human boy on his own in the north. All are wearing plain gray tunics and have iron collars fitted around their
Oh,
necks.
is it these
Disheveled?
cloaked
Mhm.
people?
Yeah, disheveled, just like so like they look thin, they look malnourished, they look injured, just weak,
Untidy,
essentially.
disordered,
Yeah, they're dressed in
Okay.
plain gray tunics, and you can see
Yeah.
iron collars fitted around their necks.
I just didn't know
it-
that word yet.
yeah,
That's the
no,
first
it's
time I've
fine.
heard it.
Yeah, and in the far wall you see a heap of discarded clothing just kind of tossed there. Clearly these are prisoners.
Right. Am I able to swig my invisibility potion? And I mean, I guess you wouldn't be able to answer it really, but would I be able to do it to a degree that they won't stab me and kill me instantly?
I'm gonna say no, because like you can disengage and move out of the way without being attacked, but pop in your invisibility.
So
They're aware of invisibility. They know what it does, and if they see you drinking, they're gonna know that you're still there,
okay.
just invisible.
So you're saying I can move without them, like.
You have to use an
If
action.
you use
though.
your action to disengage, you can move without triggering a reaction. You won't have your action left though. You'll still have a bonus action.
That's fine. So if I go like this, I'm disengaging, and I go
Yeah.
like there, let's say.
Yeah. So you kind of shoved them off you. They've jumped on top of you, raining blows down, and you just use your immense size to kind of knock them off you. And while they're just like disoriented for just a second, you're able to kind of slip back out of their range and retreat into the room.
Would it be possible for me to say that I dropped my torch whilst I was leaving there, so that it's illuminating that room, or is that too much?
I'm gonna say no, just because that's super hard for me.
No, run with it. Run with it. It's
Actually, hold on.
No, run with it.
An invisible
fine.
token that
Well, no,
holds a
it's not the
torch.
fact that I want to run with it. It's
What's
just
that?
like
That's a torch that he dropped.
because it will
I think it
create,
No.
assumedly, create visibility in that room for
There you go.
guys.
Fine.
There you go.
Because one of them goes
No,
next.
there's a torch in there now.
Okay.
Can you not see
I'm
it?
gonna use.
I see that, man.
Yeah, I can see it. I can't see inside the room, obviously, because I'm like
Yeah.
at an angle. But okay, I'm gonna use my bonus action to heal myself.
Sure, roll for that.
Uh,
And as you kind of run away, you just hear these ruffians swearing and cursing at you as you, like, calling you a coward and insulting your family.
so that's not really insulting.
You see Arj like scales torn off, bleeding profusely. He gets down on one knee, kind of puts a hand to his chest and starts mumbling under his breath. And you see a little bit of life kind of comes back to him. He's still very injured, still bleeding from a couple, but you see that most of the cuts have kind of closed up, and the worst of them are on their way to healing.
Sweet. I guess that's the end of my turn.
Sure. Yeah. So this ruffian, the first ruffian, comes charging out of the room and is met with this paladin in armor, and he kind of stops running, expecting just to chase down this dragon, and he stops and just decides, all right, well, he's in front of me. I'll take a couple, and he takes 2 swings at you. The first one glances off your plate armor, and the second one you bring your shield up and deflect it away, just harmlessly into the side of the wall.
Damn it.
Yeah. So the strength of the blow, even though you were able to deflect it, is still sent reverberations down your arm, and as you try to lash out again, you're still weakened, and it gives him enough time to get out of the way and absorb it kind of on his arm. He puts up his arm, and the leather armor catches the blade.
Freaking, I asked Arj real quick, hey, are there more? Or is that it? Is it just this one guy? Did he just come in here
I
alone?
haven't left yet, so I will roleplay this, even though I'm bursting to. I'm almost pissing myself. I will answer your question.
I can roleplay you.
That's fine. There was, I mean, from what I could tell, was being stabbed in both sides. There was, I mean, I could.
You saw
assume
2
that-
people. You're aware that there's 2.
He ran out of the door being like, "There's hundreds."
Well, the thing is, during this like very quick process, I'm not sure if Arch would have like processed that the 3 people in the room were prisoners, or just like, I don't know. Like
Arch didn't really know. He noticed a
Go
body.
peek at.
He didn't
go.
really notice.
Okay, I'll be right back then.
Yeah. Yeah, he noticed. He comes out and he's still panting, focusing on healing himself up. But he's able to tell you that he saw what he thought were 2 people and prisoners. He doesn't know how
Either
many
way,
are.
Okay.
Right now, our focus is the only homie that can get through the door.
Yeah.
Alright, well, seems like a pretty straightforward situation. I'm gonna throw. The hell's that?
What the hell to my roommates? My roommates got excited because of what's about to happen.
Yeah,
Definitely.
they're super
That's
excited
what
to see
happened.
this.
They're really hyped about the 100th firebolt. There we go. Get that man.
Lands.
Yeah, so you see Evan strike out with his sword, and this guy puts up his bracer and kind of catches the blow, but it forces him to turn away from Leah as she launches a flaming, again, it just looks like a flaming arrow, a streak of fire, and it impacts into the side of this ruffian, and you see singe on the side of his cloak.
Mmm. Delicious. Well.
You toasted his bum.
I toasted.
Yeah, and he's
toasted
momentarily
his
distracted
bum.
from Evan as he turns towards Leah, and he sees 3 other people, and he seems surprised, as if he was only expecting a few.
Liam makes a face at him.
Sildar, seeing this guy come charging through the door, you see him pull out the crossbow again and take aim, and you see the quarrel go whizzing by him, and it impacts into the door behind him, and it just sticks there, and you can hear the twang as it kind of vibrates with the power and force of this heavy crossbow, but it goes sailing by him, and you hear Sildar cursing under his breath as he kind of retreats back to cover Arj in case someone else tries to rush out. And as he does this, you see a second bandit kind of knock his friend to the side and power past him and raise his sword, and he makes 2 quick blows against Sildar here. The first one, Sildar is able to kind of parry with his sword and then deflect off some of his armor. The second one, you see him try to raise his sword to parry it, but the ruffian's able to get in past his guard and get a quick stab in, and you see Sildar starts to bleed from a small cut, but he looks fine. He's injured, but not life-threateningly.
Why have your past 2 1d6s been natural ones?
I don't know.
And are
Also,
those just rolls that you're showing us by mistake?
Nope, I'm showing you those because it's Sildar making them.
What is he rolling for right now?
Sildar has a reaction where when he's hit by an attack, he can roll 1d6 to parry and add that to his AC.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's a cool
badass.
feat.
It uses his reaction, so he can't make an attack of opportunity now. But
Yeah, but it's good when you're getting attacked by shit.
yeah. Last time the 1 was all he needed. It actually saved him. He parried it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been two
Two
ones in a
ones
row.
on him. Yeah.
Seeing as I don't have any decent spells left, I'm just going to cast Sacred Flame on that one.
Yeah, so you conjure this radiant light flame underneath this ruffian, and he's just suddenly engulfed in flame, and you see but it's a flame that it doesn't burn. It's just like this holy. It looks like flame, but there's no singeing or anything on his coat. And he looks around, surprised, trying to figure out where this came from. And he's breathing harder now, but he's still standing. And you see one of his wounds almost looks like it reopened, like a slight cut after this flame.
So
But
was
he's still.
it did damage, or was
It
that
did damage.
Okay. I'm going to move behind the sarcophagus a little bit, just like a bit of added cover.
Sure, yeah.
Where it doesn't
That
have
gives you about half cover from ranged attacks. So this first ruffian, he's kind of boxed in now with his buddy. And seeing this paladin, just decides he looks like the biggest threat, and he wants to take him out first. So he makes 2 quick attacks again. The first one deflects off the shield, and the second one you reach out your hand and grab his arm. Evan reaches out, grabs his arm, and twists, and you see the sword kind of clatter to the ground, and he's disarmed.
He rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this guy,
yes.
you hear the sword just clatter to the ground. Evan,
Not my
you're up.
turn, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Is there music meant to be playing, or?
No, I kind of forgot about music. I guess I can do.
No.
Come on. I want to be in the mood, dog.
I have a game in the background that's been giving me music.
Ooh.
I don't know. I just like battle music.
Yeah, no, I
like-
do as well. I just keep forgetting.
Yeah, no, it is different. I mean,
What?
Right.
All right, fuck you. I'll change it then.
No, I like it.
Now,
Why? I fumble like hell, dude.
mumbling. So after grabbing and twisting this guy's arm, Evan, full of confidence, kind of lashes out, and just he gets his sword kind of embedded in the armor, and it's kind of tangled up in the ruffian's cloak, and it'll take you a second to pull it out. I'll say it's like a bonus action to pull it out.
All right, well,
Next
I'll
turn.
use it.
Next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're like grappled basically.
And I'm gonna say you have minus
I
one.
would like to
you have
grapple.
-2 AC while your arm's kind of tangled up and you're focused on this.
Okay.
Ignore my giant great axe. I would like to hold on to his hands, please. Thank you.
Leah, you're up. So you see this one ruffian, pretty crisp and clean, new, fresh. The guy behind him just dropped his sword, and he's bleeding from a few cuts on his side. And
Leah considers that one pretty much taken care of. Ain't got no sword. He's looking a little crispy. He's fine. All right, let's attack this toasty man. This freshman. Gotta attack freshman with firebolt. All right.
Yeah, so they're currently engaged in trading parries with Sildar, trying to find an opening. He doesn't see this streak of fire come flying at him, and it kind of catches him in the side, and you see his beard kind of singe, and you smell the smell of burning hair.
Yeah. Dang.
His beard absorbs all the damage.
His beard grows.
Yeah, his
Iron
beard.
beard.
There is actually a belt that makes you grow beards.
I know the dwarven beard is
Yeah,
the dwarven belt is amazing. Grog.
So good. Okay, so yeah, Sildar, still totally engaged with this first bandit. He just makes 2 quick attacks with his longsword. Both of them break through the guard of this. Sildar clearly trained with weapons, and this guy not so much. He's used to fighting common street guys or brawling in a bar. He's no match for Sildar. Sildar makes 2 quick cuts, and you see him fall to the ground, dead. So that he's fallen to the ground dead, and Sildar kind of spits on him and kicks him a little bit, as if how dare you even attempt to challenge me. The second ruffian.
I'm gonna kill him by the end of this quest.
Yeah, when did Sildar become so confident?
Well, I mean, he's with a pretty badass party. He's seen a massive dragon kill a man with a touch, and he's seen the rest of you just dispatch 3 undead who raised from their tombs, something he's never seen before, and they fell with no trouble. So he's full of confidence now. And
Still gonna kill him.
Such as the enemy crumbles.
Yes.
Yeah. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
You see
see-
Sildar.
You see the second kind of as your sword is entangled in his thing, he bends down and picks it up and makes 1 attack,
What?
but freeing
one
your
attack,
sword freeing your sword in the process as well. So you have normal AC and normal thing, but he now has his weapon at his disposal as well.
So he gets 2 actions per turn. That's
A
nice.
disposable sword would be 6. You're chucking something in. You know
Yeah.
how it is.
When you're done with it, yeah, and he lashes out with a short sword, but again, you catch it on a piece on your gauntlet and kind of deflect the blow again, with no effect. Arj, you're up.
Cast Sacred Flame again on the same dude.
Yeah, so you conjure this again, but this time the ruffian kind of recognizes the beginnings of the flame kind of underneath him, and is able to plaster himself against the wall as this tower of what looks to be holy fire flies up, and he dodges out of the way, and it goes flying past him and kind of dissipates.
That's kind of my turn.
Evan, you're up.
All right, let's not fumble. We didn't
Yeah, so-
fumble, boys.
So as he kind of shoves his back up against the wall as this pillar of flame, you take that opportunity to kind of jab your sword in, and you find a kink in his armor, and just you feel the sword kind of go up to the hilt, and you see the life drain out of his eyes, and he falls to the ground dead as well.
Yeah.
Now it's calm music. Look at that.
Wow.
No.
Are you gonna change it if I start humming this too? Oh, never mind. There it goes.
I don't have any good dungeon crawly music is the issue. This is okay. Okay.
That's good. That's fine.
Yeah, so the 2 ruffians are down on the ground dead. This is music from fucking Dragon Age Inquisition, which I've been playing a shit ton of.
Sexy.
Yeah, so the 2 of them kind of crumple to the ground, dead. And when they see that happen, the 3 prisoners inside kind of see that happen. That's fucking loud.
Do they? 'Cause they're around the corner.
Well, they see this first one crumple
I
to the
see.
ground. They
And
hear
they
the
just
battle,
kinda-
and they hear the cheer when Sildar slays this one, and they see the other one up against the wall, and they see your sword kind of snake out and find a purchase, and him kind of fall down, and they let out a cheer, but you can tell they're very weak, malnourished, and not in a good way, but they kind of run up to the bars, and you hear them kind of help.
Still, 3rd time, loot the fuckers.
Sure. So you pat them. These ones didn't have the pouches that the first few you found did, and Jesus fuck, it's so loud.
We
And,
can lower it.
No, I know, but for me. And other than their cloaks, you don't find anything on them, and even their cloaks, are
Fuck 'em.
clearly
In we
signs
go.
of battle.
Leah hears
Sure,
those
so-
cries and wants to go in there.
Yeah. So you enter what are clearly made to be the slave and prisoner area, partitioned into 3 areas with iron bars and filthy straw. You see at the other side of the room a pile of clothing just thrown up against the wall, and as you look closer, you see looks to be about almost a dozen pairs of clothes. But looking around, you don't see any bodies other than the 3 that are alive, kind of in the thing. You
Can
see,
we easily open the doors?
you go up. You see they're clearly padlocked. If you had some sort of tool, you could probably pick them. And you kind of shake the bars, and you
I
feel
have a
them.
crowbar. Can I fuck it up?
Looking at the crowbar, the distance of the bars, you don't think there's really a way to get
No, the
good
padlock.
purchase. Looking at, you kind of shake the doors, looking at the padlock. With enough force, you figure you could probably. So if you want to try, you can do a strength check, but it'll be tough. Yeah, so you kind of wrench on the bars as much as you can, and you feel them giving a little bit, but they're still holding strong.
Would Firebolt generate enough heat to melt or destroy these locks?
No. It's just a bolt of fire. It's not actually that hot. It's like
Okay.
you couldn't like hold it next to the bar long enough, like, because it just flies off like in a direction, and you can't hold it next to a bar. And if you were to fire it, it wouldn't heat it up quickly enough before it dissipated to actually do it.
And Eve already looted
Right.
those 2 bodies, right? And he
Yeah,
didn't find a
didn't
key.
find any. You didn't find any keys or anything on them. And looking at the padlocks, it doesn't look like these were made really. Like, it doesn't look like they were planning on opening these cages anytime soon.
Okay, seeing no immediate way of opening these cages, she just looks at the prisoners and goes, "Who are you?"
You look and you see the 2 in the south there, the 2 women. She tells you she's Myrna Dendarar, and you recognize that name as the wife of the man at the woodworking place who was murdered. And she points to the younger girl. She looks to be about 18 years old next to her, and introduces her as her daughter. And the young man across looks to be about 13. Nars, she says, is her son. And she tells you that
What?
she tells you that a few days ago the Redbrands murdered her husband Threll for defying them, and then that night returned and abducted the family, and that she overheard them talking about selling them into slavery.
We're not gonna let that happen.
If
Do
you can
know-
also help each other with the bars, by the way, for advantage.
I mean, Lee's not very
Oh,
strong.
so Arj, get over here.
Well, it doesn't matter who. It's just it gives the
Well,
person doing
before
it
we do
advantage.
anything,
What
would
if
it be
someone's got,
possible
like,
to
negative
use
strength?
Preserve life. I have my preserve life ability, which lets me heal myself for 5 times my cleric level, which is 10, and then I will do a strength check on the bars, as requested by my dear friend Evander.
Yeah, well, would he
Wow, that's a
assist
saving
me
throw.
with this crowbar, or are we just gonna try to pull these things apart together?
You're just trying to force the bars open, and the combined strength of the 2 of you, and Evan already kind of, he gave it a tough thing, and the combined strength of the 2 of you is able to kind of wrench the door open just enough that the women could kind of clamber underneath it, ducking down like you bent the bar up.
Right.
The door still holds, but they're able to get out, and you do the same with the one of the boy up in the north, and as soon as that happens, they kind of run to each other because they've been separated, and they're kind of crying and they're thanking you. And once you've released them, Myrna comes up to you, Evan, and she says that she's a poor woman. She has nothing to offer you, but she says that she may know of a valuable heirloom and where it's hidden. And she tells you that when she was a young girl, her and her family fled from the town of Thunder Tree, and you recognize that as the town where the druid lives, after the undead overran the place. And she tells you that she had a urban alchemy shop, and inside of which her mother kept an emerald necklace hidden under a section of storage shelves, and that she always wanted to go back to retrieve it, but she never got the chance because of the undead. And she tells you that the shop was in the southeast part of Thunder Tree.
Would it be possible to give
Yeah.
this lady 2 of my gold pieces as a kind of...
Sure, and
Rebuild your life.
at first, she doesn't want to take them, but even without too much prompting, you can tell, she's clearly in a bad way, and she accepts them gratefully. And you can see the little boy, he runs up to you, and he wraps his arms around your leg. He comes up to about knee height, and he gives you a hug and kind of rubs his head against you. And clearly, they're quite thankful for this. And
I ruffle the boys.
yeah, and they say they tell you they wish they could help more, but and they tell you all they know about the surrounding area. You know, they didn't see much. They had bags over their heads, but they know that the leader of these bandits is a human wizard. They've never met him, but and they overheard talking of secret doors somewhere. They don't know where, but they just heard someone mention that one of the secret doors was acting up and that they had to fix it.
What? Did you just cough my name?
Yeah, you could do secret door things, can't you? You're like.
I noticed a red line on the wall.
That's the trap from before.
All right.
And so after this, she takes the gold and like she kind of bows and thanks you and they run off.
Do they know about the trap?
Well, they come to the pit and you can hear the boy kind of like gasp as he sees it. But he, you know, but then they see the rope and instead of trying to shimmy across, they lower themselves down and you can hear them climbing up the other side. They have taken your rope though.
Did you? Well,
you no longer have a rope.
Didn't know I left that there, but okay.
Well, you never picked it up, so.
Yeah, you gotta see.
This entire time I was holding it, but okay.
Oh,
like
well.
the entire time when I was explaining this, I was like,
well.
oh, I'm holding onto the rope, and you're like, there is nothing to tie it to, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm holding
No, you
on
tied
to the
it
rope.
down to the people so they could get up. Remember, you helped Sildar up with the rope.
What?
I was holding it the whole
sounds-
time, using my own strength for this kind of shit. But
Don't
okay.
don't worry, Sol. I understand. Don't worry about it.
I kept
Leah still
repeating
has
that.
a rope, by the way.
Yeah,
That's fine. I'm just saying I kept repeating that
Now,
over and over again. I was holding the rope.
out of
but okay.
we'll draw a picture for him later.
All of you can have 100 XP each for defeating those and saving them. As far as you know, they make it back to town safe and sound.
Now,
Maybe you'll hear more about them when you get it. If you go back to Phandalin, but
our characters didn't know that Thunderdome was overrun by undead, right?
you do now.
Well, yeah, we do now, but no one told us before. The halfling lady didn't know.
The halfling didn't know.
This
She
is
doesn't.
news.
She's never been there. She just knows that the druid went to Thunder Tree. The druid hasn't come back from Thunder Tree, so.
Okay,
So
we gotta
all she
connect
knows is
these
that
dots.
The druid went. She knows the town was ruined. She doesn't know why, and she told you as much. As they're leaving, the boy also tells you about some tall, furry monsters with big ears that he saw in the caverns.
Yeah,
Oh, the bugbears.
we know about the bugbears.
All right. Now, they did mention secret wall, right?
They
Somewhere.
mentioned overhearing something about a secret wall that wasn't working and was fixed, but
All right. So should we all be rolling perception checks, trying to find a secret wall?
I mean, dude, it could honestly have been in the first room.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know then, but we can start now.
You wanted to try to head back and
check a prison
acrobatics
room.
check.
We don't have to
As
go
you
all the
guys
way
are
back.
talking about this, Sildar, you can hear Sildar yelling. I mean, there's still this door that we haven't gone in.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that, Sildar. You
Thanks,
dumb motherfucker.
Sildar. Gee.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's overheard this conversation.
I mean, I'm not going in first. I mean, we both know that.
And I will point out to you
Back
that
then.
when I say stuff as Sildar, I'm not necessarily trying to point you anywhere specific. Like,
But
I
it's
know
what Sildar would
effort-
say.
Well, so
That's
I'm just
right.
saying, like, I don't want you to think like that I'm telling you that there is a secret door there, because there very well might not be.
No, I know. We know about this story.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I know Sildar.
Yeah.
We're just discussing shit.
But
Just
I'm-
give me one
Jesus
second.
Christ, how are you part of the alliance?
What?
Give me 1 second. I need to go to the washroom. I'll be right back.
Call the rope incident Ropegate.
The what?
Yeah. We're gonna call my rope incident of somehow Jorser not understanding that
That
the
was
entire
so
time
weird.
I was holding onto my rope. Even though I kept saying it like for every single person.
I thought it would be a good idea.
Yeah, I feel like it's not a bad idea to do that. And
It
then
makes
if they
sense to
slip,
me because it's
you
like I
run it
tie
and you,
around my
like-
waist and then I do the
Yeah.
ledge thing, and if I happen to slip, then you just you can. And Arj is right next
I
to you.
mean,
He
I
can help
grab
too.
You hit the wall, but you don't die. Like you don't die, but you don't hit the floor. Like
Yeah, be,
it's less
even if I
damage 'cause
take
you just kinda
damage, yeah,
swing
less
into a wall.
damage.
But whatever.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, we weren't talking shit about you at all.
I just assume that's the default.
It's our
You've
chance.
just coined,
Yeah,
we've coined
I'm actually
the rope
surprised.
incident.
Yeah, we've coined our little rope situation back then. It's called Ropegate now.
Yeah, I mean, I expected as much.
All right.
Okay.
So can we search this prison room and the coffin room for secret wall?
Sure, give me a perception check for Leah and Arj in that room. And are you specifically searching for doors, or are you searching just the room?
Well, we've been given a hint of secret wall, right? So that's what I'm searching for, a secret wall.
One of you search one thing, one of you search the other one.
Right, I want.
Especially in like.
Yeah, well, so like why I ask is just like if you're just generally searching, it'll be harder to notice specific things, but easier to notice everything. If you're specifically searching for something, it'll be easier to notice that and harder to notice everything else.
Well, I'm searching just the general area because hidden walls aren't my forte.
Sure. So well, give me a roll, I guess.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm in the middle of
I thought that was your roll, so I was. Yeah.
I don't know.
You were searching for the door specifically.
Yeah. So Leah's going up.
Persuasion.
knocking on walls, kind of looking for anything that looks out of
Bumping
place.
it with the stick.
She doesn't. She kind of pushes on a few stones that look like they might be sticking out, but she's not able to find anything in this room. Arj looks around. He kind of ruffles through the clothing, and as he does, just a whiff of like just grossness hits his face, and he kind of stumbles back, and you see him plop down on his butt and kind of look around as it like he doesn't know what just happened, but he doesn't see anything else in the room.
He suddenly spits up a whole hard-boiled egg. Like how do you even do
what
that?
Are you looking for, Evan?
Door.
Secret door.
Okay, so you kind of again same thing. You walk around the room, looking at the walls, knocking on things. You reach inside some of the coffins, feeling around for hidden switches or anything, but you're not able to find anything.
Right. The Sildar one. Nah, fuck Sildar. He's a bitch. All right, we're gonna go to the door.
Was that in character or out?
In character.
I just tell him like I didn't find a secret wall in here, guys. I don't know. There wasn't one in there.
You're just going through this door here.
I'm not going through.
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
I'm gonna say, Sildar, you seem to be good at putting your ear to these doors. You wanna give this one a go too?
He kind of glares at you here after just insulting him, and but he puts his ear up to the wall. I mean, I guess that's what he rolled. He puts his ear up to the wall, and he turns to you and he says, I don't hear anything.
After you then.
He glares at you again, but he nudges the door open, and you see it just opens into a very small corridor. Which one of you has a fucking torch? There you go.
I'm not going in first.
All right, hand me the torch. I'm here.
Well, I guess it's a little late now, but the idea strikes Leah that she should peer in first, since she can see in the dark. So then there'd be no torch to alarm anyone in there that's coming.
I'm just gonna say from now on, just to make it fucking easy, all of you at all times have a torch lit, unless you specifically tell me you don't. Okay? Like when you're in something like this.
Cool.
Just because that way we don't have to keep doing like the whole, I
Switching
can't
it
see
around.
anything, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it'll still cast light, so it could alert people. So you have to tell me if you want to like extinguish it.
All
But
right,
we'll
so
just
so far-
assume. Assume.
Let's assume that Leah doesn't
So-
bother
I
with
like
torches.
that change.
Leah doesn't have a torch because she has dark vision. So.
Mhm.
Right. So it's just this is the end of the hallway right here. It just goes
Yeah,
into this door.
so you see on the right a door, and this door looks different than the rest. It's clearly heavier, like made of stone, and you see like a lock on it, and you give it a shake, and it's very securely locked.
Well, I don't give it a shake. I didn't go up to it. You fuck.
Oh well, sure. There's a little there's bars on the window, and you can peer in, and you see inside what looks to be weapon racks with swords, longbows, crossbows, and stuff like that.
I do.
Yeah, just because you've now walked up there, I've decided.
Okay.
Peering through the window, it's a totally empty room. You can see into it, but you can't get through the door right now, or at least like not just you can't just open the door.
Gotta kill the final boss, get the key, come back, and
Yeah.
right.
Give me a perception check as you're just peering into the room.
Yeah, why not? Because I decided to do that.
As you're kind of leaning up, you hear like a weird whoosh of air from behind you. Like you feel a breeze on the back of your neck.
Can I dragon foom shout and go? I don't know.
What?
What?
No,
Are you
secret
doing some
door here.
Fushiro Da right now?
No, I'm gonna look for that door with that wind. I'm gonna try to find where the wind's coming from.
Sure, give me a check with advantage. Yeah,
Well,
so you hear
I find the
this
shit out of that door.
you find a map to this fucking hide. No. You feel this breeze, and immediately realizing what that means, you turn around and you start, kind of pushing on various rocks, and you notice one of the rocks is actually rather than sticking out, it's stuck in almost like, and you see that it's kind of more worn away than the rest of them, as if someone's been touching it, and you kind of push in on that, and it goes in with almost no trouble, and the door kind of swings open to reveal a secret entrance.
Knickers.
And
Five
you
naked
see
women standing on a comfy bed.
you see looking in, you see more. It looks like some sort of storage room. Several barrels stored against the wall, and a number of empty crates with some straw, like for packing. And then you see just to the side hammers and pry bars and nails.
No light source from in here, right? Like mine is the only light source.
Yeah.
So far, from what I can tell.
Mhm.
Right. So I'm gonna motion everyone like. Come here.
So and as you walk in, you notice that this area is at the north end of a large natural cavern. But this area has been finished with dressed stone block walls and a flagstone floor, just like the rest of the hideout you've been in so far. And you see the cavern continues for some distance to the south. You can make out several passages that open up off the larger cavern, and what looks like a deep crevasse or pit on the floor, spanned by two wooden bridges.
All right. Yeah, I wanna go ahead and group search these little boxes to see if we can find some potions.
Sure,
Yeah.
give me a perception check.
For all of us?
Yeah, just give me a group perception check.
What does that even mean?
Yeah,
Like,
what is
one
it?
of us rolls for all?
A group,
I mean-
everyone roll, and then if
Just use the
half of
highest.
you succeed, if half of you succeed, then you succeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
looking around,
What did homie
just
get?
lying in the open. Yeah, Sildar's up with you guys. Lying in the open, and going through, you see most of the goods aren't valuable. Most of them are provisions, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you do see lying among these kind of worthless goods are 30 beaver pelts, which could be worth something to someone. Not a lot. From what you've seen in markets, probably about 2 gold each. But they are quite heavy to carry as well. So
Motherfucking 30 of those. That's 60 gold. How much did
you
they
wouldn't be able
weigh
to carry
each?
all of them, though.
I know.
They'd weigh
I know.
about 4 pounds each. They're quite heavy. Well, not 4, 2.
They're big ass beavers, yo.
Yeah. Well, these are larger beavers than you'd be used to in our world.
I've never even seen a beaver.
I'm a Canadian, so we've seen lots.
You are a beaver. I'll take one.
Sure. Yeah. So it's
Nah, I'll take 2.
sure. Yeah. So just 2 pounds each.
2 beaver pelt.
Sildar, seeing you, he goes in and he picks up a couple as well, and kind of throws them over his back and into his backpack.
More random looting, hey Sildar.
Sildar turns to you and he says, "Well, when in Rome," and you don't really understand what that means. You've never heard of this Rome place
This
or anything. But
Rome.
Sildar seems to be pretty content with that, so you just let it slide.
He doesn't understand us. We don't understand him. It's.
Yeah.
I think he meant
is our
room. When in room. Room.
Where
When
the
in
fuck
room,
have
find
you been?
good
That's
item,
called.
You take item.
It's like we've devolved into orcs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And seeing these pelts, Sildar kind of pipes up and he says that he tells you that these were probably just looted from a caravan. So clearly these bandits have also been, you don't know whether they're working with the goblins or not, but they've been also looting caravans on the Tribor Trail, which is where you were attacked.
Well, again, I'm not heading into that, down here on my own.
Right.
So as you kind of approach the mouth of the cavern, you feel a cold breeze filling this large, clearly natural cavern. They, like the Redbrands, haven't, other than the area you're standing in, haven't done anything other than erect some bridges from what you can see. And you can see the crevice divide the cavern into, flanked by 2 rough stone columns that support from your eyes about 20 feet high. And you see 2 arched wooden bridges spanning the chasm. And as you do this, you're not sure what to place it. It's different from the feeling you had in the cavern, where like it was a bad feeling. Here, you just feel odd, like you know the feeling you get when you feel like someone's watching you, but it kind of dissipates almost immediately. And
So wizard bitch is looking at us through some scrying shit.
you've been scryed before, and it felt different than that as well.
I've been scryed before. Hmm.
Bahoo.
Well, you're aware of scrying music, like
Yeah.
magics. Neverwinter has, like, it's almost like in a lot of parts of the world that's used as like a phone call because it's very obvious when you're being scryed to someone who's kind of familiar with the feeling, unless the
Can I,
person
like-
is actively
Oh,
trying to hide.
sorry.
Can I like perception as I'm walking,
I'm
just
not
to like?
actually doing anything. Yeah, I was trying to read it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'll
that's
let you know
fine,
if I'm
that's fine.
deciding to
I'm
do
gonna
it.
like walk up to like I want to walk up to here, and like the whole way, can I be like looking out like there's like some dude in a
Sure.
fucking
As
corner
you
with,
walk
like,
in,
a
before
bow.
you give me a perception check, can you give me a deception check?
What?
Who are you deceiving? Now that's a question.
Probably some other
Um,
red brand dude.
As
I don't even have the armor actually, so never mind.
the same feeling that you got before, you feel it again really strongly, and in your head, none of the rest of your party seem to hear this, but you hear like a giggle in your head.
Ew.
What the fuck?
So now you can give me a perception check.
A giggle. Deception.
And the giggle that you hear, like, clearly no one else around you heard it, so none of you
Oh.
know about that.
My rolls are on point today.
Yeah, so looking around, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You see this passage leading off that's clearly been built up. But other than that, and another passage right here that, again, kind of seems to lead into like a more built up area that looks more similar to where you just came from, like man-made. But other than that, you don't notice anything else.
Where do you guys think we should go?
Well, crossing over this.
Oh, and I mentioned that someone's been giggling in my mind. Like, hey guys, as
That's
soon as I
only
like got up to
free
this
stuff.
place, I heard like giggling in my head, kind of like what Delgado was doing to those people.
Leah gives you a
Very similar.
concerned look.
And when you hear that, Leah, you recognize it as telepathic conversation. You're familiar with that, and something was communicating with Evan.
You have to
Telepathically.
be able to see me to do that, right?
You don't know.
Leah does.
Does Leah know?
Leah knows her own limitations, but she doesn't really know the power of anything else.
Alright.
As far as she knows, it has to be within a short range, but she doesn't know.
Leah knows
She
all
doesn't
about
know
message.
really what this is. Yeah, and she doesn't. So she could tell you all about message, but she doesn't necessarily know that that's what's being used to communicate.
Right. Okay. So yeah, do you guys think we should cross the bridge or head further down
Well, I would
along
like
the wall?
to inspect the bridge first, the one closest to us.
Oh, so you're gonna walk into the bridge?
Oh yeah, I wanted to walk up to here.
Up to it. I'm not going to walk.
Well,
onto
yeah,
it, I
not
just
on
wanna
it, not
see
on
if
it. Yeah. Give me a wisdom, or sorry, what did I make you do again? Give me
Me
a
a deception.
yeah, give me an insight, or yeah, sorry, a deception check. Yeah, so you feel this. It feels like a consciousness reach out to touch you, and as soon as you do that, you kind of close your mind off. You're used to kind of defending yourself against like magical scrying and stuff, and you close your mind and you hear it just in your head again, telepathically. You now know. You hear like it sounds sad, like it's not an angry, just like aw. Sounds disappointed, and it seems like you fended something off.
To like, I mean, this is probably completely out of the realms of possibility, but I'm just curious. Would it
Yep.
be possible to like attempt to mentally converse, like send a message in my mind to see if like
Yes.
the other
Yeah.
side?
Once from what Leah knows and has told you, once someone opens kind of a telepathic bond, even if you have no powers of telepathy, you can converse with them.
So
You kind of after you close your mind, but you kind of and as you feel the target sort of retreating, you kind of open your mind again, and what do you say?
who are you? Not in like an aggressive way, but just like a,
Real neutral.
Yeah. So the and as you say this, you hear a voice. It's a harsh, like a raspy voice, almost whispering. Like you have to kind of strain to hear it, and intermixed with this little cackles and what sounds to you like gibberish, and it doesn't respond other than to just kind of giggle, and you hear weird clicks, and
Was
a
that-
loud crash apparently. as you think it's about to leave, you just hear where it was whispering a booming demand, and it just says food.
Food?
Well, we have a perfectly fit human male here with us who doesn't seem to be doing much for the party.
Sildar glares at you and
he's collected. A
he kind of hides behind the barrels after hearing this. And...
What?
I don't know. I don't even know if I have any decent offerings.
Wouldn't Arj have said that in his head though?
Yeah,
Food,
that was more like
well,
kind of.
he saw Sildar saw him glance back after seeing like because when you communicate telepathically, you still kind of move your mouth a little bit almost.
Okay.
It's difficult to totally not like to form words entirely in your head. And so he saw Arj's mouth kind of moving, and he recognized his name. And then he saw Arj just kind of glance, and he's like, "I don't like the look of that." And he kind of retreated behind Leah and the boxes.
That dragon's about to eat me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have. Okay, can I ask him what food? Like, I'm trying to simplify it. You know, what sort of.
You try to reach out, but you feel the connection is gone, and nothing kind of there.
Well, back to. I mean, I let the party know that whatever, you know.
Sure. So you wanted to? Did you want to examine the bridge as well?
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's stable.
Sure. Give me a perception check. Yeah. So you examine this bridge. You notice it looks like whether by design or not, it looks like the bridge could easily be from one side to the other kind of collapsed, but it looks sturdy enough that you could easily walk across it. But at the same time, if you wanted to, with if you took some time, you could knock the post out of the ground and cause it to fall down into the crevasse below. And looking at the fissure, you see it's about 5 to 10 feet wide and about 20 feet deep. And the rough walls are kind of curved in, and the roughness, you get the feeling you could probably kind of scramble out without too much trouble. As you kind of lean over to look, the cavern itself is filled with a cool breeze, but as you look over, the crevasse itself feels unnaturally cold.
So so you're saying it is safe for the party to cross at the same time?
Yes, looking at the bridge, it certainly seems sturdy to your eyes. But at the same time, like collapsible if on purpose.
Yeah. Fine. Obviously, I tell Evan that the bridge seems sturdy enough. Not telling Leah and Sildar, seeing as they're fucking miles behind us now.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sildar's slowly been kind of creeping up, and he's still hiding behind, but he's seen this happening.
I guess I'm gonna
to cross it himself, seeing as he's in a terrible state at the moment. Well, not terrible state. But...
So as you cross the bridge, like Arj noted before, you feel it's cold in this cavern, like a natural breeze. And as you come over, you see a path to the south, which you kind of identify as the source of the fresh air that's filling this cavern. But as you get over the cavern, you feel a chill, almost unnatural chill, emanating from the bottom of this cavern.
There's evil shit down there, guys.
Almost seems like we're being led into a trap.
Right. What about this?
That again, that leads back to where kind of the direction that you entered from, and you can see that it's kind of man-made again, but you can't see farther in it. It's a dark tunnel.
Yeah. So is everyone else gonna move, or
Sure.
am I going to just explore the cave alone?
Leah gave pause when she saw the other two companions in her party go into the cave one after another and get entranced.
As Sildar kind of enters the cave, you can see him kind of pause, and you see his lips moving as well, and he looks really unnerved, and he's kind of looking around, and he kind of, you can tell he doesn't like whatever just happened.
Well, nobody likes what's happening, Sildar.
Leah doesn't like the looks of this, but she shrugs and strides in.
He doesn't say anything. All right, can you give me a deception check? So as you walk into the room, you feel a familiar feeling of of telepathic communication. You're curious, like usually you're the one initiating this. You haven't really met a lot of people that communicate with you, so you're not really used to kind of stealing yourself, and you feel as if you feel a weird feeling, and you hear this kind of this cackle and more gibberish, and you hear a voice kind of in a low whisper say, it sounds like it said thank you, and it feels unnerving, like someone took something personal from you, but you don't really know what that could mean.
I respond in my head, going.
As you try to respond, you feel that the connection's clearly broken.
Oh hell no! I'm picking up message. Get back here, sir. Nah, let's. All right, we'll continue.
You try to conjure this magic, and without knowing who you're what it is or who it is, you feel the bond just kind of break, and nothing happens.
Leah will remember this.
Evan, as you move up, can I get a perception check? Yeah. So as you kind of move along the wall, you see you see at the south a long tunnel. It looks to go about 100 feet, and you can't see because it's dark, but you feel the cold breeze, and this have a feeling that it probably leads to the outside somehow, and this may very well be the secret entrance that the child was telling you about.
I'm gonna advise caution to our party members in character and say that whatever we are potentially coming up against does not feel of a righteous nature, based on Archie's brief discussion with it. I did mention something about the food, by the way, so I'm gonna pick up on that and say.
Sure. At the mention of food, Sildar reminds you about the barrels behind you that are full of like dried meats, and mentions that if you're hungry, you could maybe grab some of that.
I'd say,
Sildar thinks you want to eat him.
In the prime position to be, wanting food, Sildar. If I wanted food, I would eat you. So no worries there.
Sildar grins, but you can tell it's like he's not quite sure if you're joking, but he's gonna play it off like he's trying to call your bluff, but he's not. There's a little twinge of I can't tell if he's joking or not.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not sure if he's asking for literal food or food of a different kind. I mean, I guess to some creatures we are food.
Yeah, and as you're talking out loud with Sildar about food, you feel the same connection again, and you hear "Feed me."
What does that?
And no one else around. Again, so no one else has heard this. It's just you, and it's in a weird whisper, and you hear a giggle like a after it.
Oh, blimey.
What is this, the
Unsettling.
Joker? I don't
This
understand.
fucking imp or some shit, or some pixie shit. I don't know.
Mark Hamill.
I thought we were dealing with a human.
So where it is.
Evan do? I mean, obviously there's magic here, but I'm just out of character. Does Evan still have a sense magic available to him? Or
I can use divine sense, so I can detect an evil presence within 60 feet of me. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that while they're talking, and they've
Sure.
been doing whatever's been going on their conversation.
Yeah,
I've
so
used
you
divine sense.
again you open up your consciousness like you've been trained in the Paladin order to open and you detect a very strong presence very near to you, an evil but not a chaotic evil, almost as if without it had no choice. You detect it's certainly not a human force. It's some sort of aberration that you detect, but and while doing so, you kind of detect that it's been in a position to attack you and it hasn't. So clearly something is holding it back. And then and as you're and at the same time as you're doing this, just kind of separate from that, you sense the cold that you felt as you crossed the bridge and that Arj felt as well is a very faint necromantic aura. There isn't anything down there. It's just there's a residual kind of aura of necromancy.
So something is very near me, like 5-10 feet, like.
Not enough that you could reach out and touch it, but within this southern area of the cavern, somewhere there. And looking around, you've been perception. You haven't seen anything, so clearly it's either invisible or very well hidden.
So I can't pinpoint it within 60 feet of me, so it's behind total cover.
You can't pinpoint the exact area, but you can feel its consciousness.
I would say
Right. So if it's behind total cover, bro, homie's right here.
I mean, I would say to the party, perhaps we shouldn't all go in at once based on this presence that we've met.
Yeah, and as Evan, as you're kind of throwing out your senses, what initially was just kind of a sense, all of a sudden you see the outline, as if like in burning, kind of like in holy like fire, outlined the shape of a very odd looking creature that you've never seen before, that you assume now is the whatever has been kind of interacting with you, as it kind of moves out from behind where it was hiding it. And it was completely invisible to everyone but Evan until kind of he senses it magically, and he's able to focus on it and make out the eye lines, and the creature clearly has sensed that it's been spotted and kind of stops and turns and crouches down, afraid, staring at you. And Leah, being a sorcerer, you recognize this creature from stories as a Nothic, which you know to be it was once a wizard seeking power, and it discovered power that it couldn't comprehend, and it was gifted with cosmic insight that allows it to extract knowledge from other creatures, but they're twisted and mutated, and no longer a wizard with no memory of their past life. And as this, it's kind of the worst fear of wizards and sorcerers, that they'll discover this power and it'll consume them.
What a cutie! Look at him.
And having when it realizes it's been seen, it kind of cowers down, and where before it was booming asking for food, it just kind of whispers to all of you all at the same time. You all hear it, food.
So it's not hostile then.
Is knowledge?
Yeah. Well, and so.
Or does it like eat my mind?
Leah knows. Shit. You don't. Leah knows that the Nothics crave information of all kinds.
Do I know that when they take information, does it get removed from your head, or do they just look at it and learn it themselves?
No, they just learn it.
Okay.
And
they just want to.
They're often employed to discover secrets by wizards who can control them. They're pathetic creatures, really. I mean, you're looking at it. It's a short, impish in look, slightly larger than an imp, but a creature clearly just at odds with itself. Like it didn't want to be this way.
Do I think it could be of use?
I mean, looking at him, he's cowering, and he hasn't. He's had every opportunity. You see that clearly he's been hiding this, and he's been here the entire time, and he hasn't lashed out. So as far as so far, he hasn't been hostile.
I let them know. Be like, that guy, guys, that's a Nothic. It's not very dangerous. It just likes to read your mind a lot.
I guess I'll he's cowering, right? He's afraid.
Yeah, and as you take a step forward, you feel another kind of twinge in your mind. Can you make a deception check again?
I didn't take a step forward, but we'll do it.
Well, just like as you're standing there talking with each other.
Okay.
It's not range based. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having felt this before, you're able to steal your mind, and you see the Nothic kind of shrivel down, and you feel just you hear again like a sigh of disappointment.
I'll be like, okay, you want what I know. I want to know what you know.
Ooh,
we can trade
these exchanges.
When you're saying that at first, he looks like not convinced, like he's used to being tricked. But when you say a trade, his ears kind of perk up, and he stops cowering for a second, and he when he hears trade, he says, "Food."
Yep.
And at the mention of food, he kind of stands a little taller and starts looking around, and he kind of starts rubbing his hands together and kind of cackling.
Is that all he does? It sounded like you were going to say more.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
and again, this is just with you.
Right.
Kidding in your mind.
Oh, he can't talk. Only through telepathy he can talk. You can't actually do anything with his mouth.
You haven't heard him. You haven't heard him speak.
Okay.
Right. I'm trying to think of what I can offer him, so that because I want to ask him about Yarno and Glassstaff, but I'm trying to think of what I can offer him that he might not know about.
Well, Jorser, you said that Leah knows that he's normally employed.
Leah is aware that Nothics crave knowledge, but above all, they crave secrets.
Secrets.
But you said they're also usually like employed or tasked by someone else, right? Like he's not just here randomly.
Not usually. Not usually. You know that they can be.
Okay.
They're very rare. You've never actually seen one in person. you've read about them, heard about them as a sorcerer. You know,
Oh.
around the in the towers and stuff. They talk about them kind of as almost like as a story to scare young wizards.
Okay.
You know, to keep them
Can
from
I-
seeking power.
Would I suspect that maybe Glassstaff brought this Nothic here to do something for him?
I can't tell you that. That would be you telling me
You
that.
would suspect
All right.
that yourself.
Leah suspects that this Nothic is not here just randomly. It seems a little too random.
I guess I'll suggest to Nothic. I was part of the Neverwinter Guard. Yeah. So I know all about their little secret passages around the city. So.
Oh my gosh! I
Would
just
he want to know about
realized.
that?
At the mention of secret, you can see his ears kind of perk up, and you can tell he heard you perfectly clearly.
So I'll
You get the sense
Yeah.
that he considered that a freebie because he hasn't promised anything in return.
I didn't fucking like.
He can read your thoughts. You can
I
get the
thought
feeling that
about-
he can read your thoughts.
That we could trade them. I wasn't like thinking about mapping out the passages in my head, like
Yeah,
right
well,
then
so
and there.
he's aware that there are passages now.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's okay. I thought he was just
Yeah,
like, boom,
no.
that's it.
No.
Thanks,
Like-
Brody. And he leaves. One
There
night
are
stand.
there. But the real secret is, knowing them, like knowing, where to go, where they are, and all that stuff. Yeah. So, if you can tell me if you know anything about mages that have been in here, I'll map out all the passages, and you can know all about the secret passages.
You can tell he's kind of interested, and he's thinking, and then he kind of, you can see him stop for a second and kind of cock his head, and this whole time you've been hearing like giggles and chitters and weird like unearthly clicks that are kind of emanating through your mind, and then instead of words you can hear he just projects like a growl. It sounds like a growling stomach, and then he kind of stops and just glares at you.
The fuck? What is that supposed to mean?
He wants to eat
Bro.
You get the feeling it wasn't directed like as a threat. It was just more of a that was his statement to you.
I want to tell Arj that
Alright,
that Nothic might be Yarno. It's
Whoa.
possible it could be Yarno because he said a wizard learned something they weren't supposed to know.
And how quickly? I mean, would Leah know the turnaround time between?
Leah doesn't really know,
Uh-huh.
and the stuff she does know, she is aware that some of it is folktale and embellished. So what she's revealed to you so far is what she's constantly heard. She's heard stories of powerful mages being turned in seconds, or that it could be years, but she those she's not sure of. So
All right. Well, considering these stories, I suspect that the possibility of that guy being Yarno, and I tell Yarj.
and at the mention of Yarno, you see the Nothic's ears perk up, which is weird to you, Leah, because suspecting that it is Yarno, you also know that it would have no memory of its past life. It doesn't know that it was a wizard, but it clearly recognized the name Yarno.
I look at Yarj again and I go, yeah, it's probably not Yarno.
This is a very quick turnaround time.
And this conversation has been going on for a few minutes now. Well, conversation, air quotes. And the Nothic reaches out to you, Arj. He says
But
that
that's a long way to reach.
Mentally.
with his mind, he says trade, and then trade food, and then he goes.
It's weird that he
Okay.
considers knowledge to be the equivalent of food.
Well,
and when he hears that, he says, "Your mind, Arj, is suddenly filled with images of cows and pigs."
Okay.
So
So-
wait, does
Just
he
like-
literally mean
just like-
food then?
I'm gonna whip out some of the rations and be like, food?
You pull out the rations, and the Nothic kind of glances at them and just turns away and focuses back at Arj.
Cool, not food.
Maybe
Good.
he likes to taste the dragon meat.
At the mention of meat, you see his ears perk up, and
Mm.
like a dog, he focuses on Leah hearing meat.
Oh, these barrels that we just searched
The
have rations in
dried
them.
meat.
No, wait. There's like salted pork in these barrels and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Various foods.
That's what's in my hand.
Yeah, ration is like just a
Rations aren't
dried.
salted meat.
It's like a
No,
dried processed
the
thing.
rations are dried nuts and berries, and it's like a trail mix.
All right, so
Fucking... No. Gunge? No, not
I look
Gungeon.
back to Sildar and I say, maybe you are of some use.
what
fuck
the
is
fuck are you
that?
talking?
Hold on.
Leah looks
Sildar
at
cocks his
Arj.
head, and Sildar goes, "Do I have to remind you about the crossbow bolt which saved your life?"
Mm, do I have to remind you that I can kill a man in a single touch?
Okay, Leah gets real worried.
Dude, all right, wait. Hold on.
Any point.
Now-
Can you go grab the meat in the barrels?
Ye-
Please. He says, please.
He looks at you and, sorry, I didn't mean to ping, grudgingly walks over, and as soon as he opens the barrel, you can see the Nothic like focus totally on him and inch towards him, slowly kind of keeping an eye on Evan. And Sildar comes back and hands the meat to you, Arch.
What was the name of the guy, the first store that we went to in town?
Barthen?
Barthen. Homie sold me dried meat as rations.
Uh,
Fucking...
He may have said it was, but looking down now, you see it's just nuts.
Of course. Yep, of course. I did not know that the nuts and
Yeah,
berries were
we
not
need-
actually
we
meat.
need to- we need-
Well, the
Eve
rations
looks
are
frustrated.
packaged in, like, are sealed in
Mhm.
packages. You wouldn't know until you open them, and if you open them, they go bad rather quickly.
He seems friendly, so
When you say
hand-
that, the Nothic kind of nods his head, friend, kind of inches
Before-
towards.
Yeah, as before he's inching towards it, I hold it back a little bit and say, I require a deal.
He this kind of all of you feel deal, yes.
Jeez, that's dang. Turn down the decibels there, Nothic.
Your knowledge for this food and some of our secrets.
At the mention of secrets, he's like almost bouncing with excitement, and you just hear, what do you want to know?
How about if I give you the food first, then I can ask you the questions, and if you want some secrets, I can give you some more afterwards.
When you say like hand you the food, he kind of looks suspicious, like he suspects you're trying to trick him and you capture him.
We'll lay down the food and walk away. You can have at it.
He kind of you can see him. He doesn't really have like limbs like you would describe them, but you can see kind of like he's like trying to gesture towards like the bottom of the crevasse, and you get the sense he's trying to get you to toss it down there.
What the fuck? What?
All right.
How deep was this crevasse again?
I said to him, I will do. I mean, obviously, I'm not a mind reader. I can't tell that that's exactly what he wants to do. I'll say,
Mhm.
I'll do as you would like, so long as you promise that you stick to our agreement.
Yeah, and he says, "Promise, yes."
I'm gonna chuck it where he kind of pointed.
Give me a strength check. No. It lands on the bridge. Yeah,
and then
so
he charges the bridge, tears it down, acrobatics check.
You toss the food down and you see him like nimbly leap down the crevasse, and he picks it up and he starts eating, and then he kind of turns his head to you and just looks at you expectantly.
What was that wizard that we?
Yarno or Glassstaff?
I will ask about the Yarno guy. I'll
Yarno?
say, have you heard of Yarno?
He's clearly, without like, he's not using words now. He's just filling
Mhm.
your mind with feeling.
Yeah.
It feels really weird. Like it feels gross, and you want to kind of pull back, but you resist. And you can tell that he's aware of the name, but he doesn't seem to know very much about it. He when you mention Yarno and Glassstaff, he obviously knows Glassstaff.
Yeah, because I would assume he would have been in this cavern.
And when you mention Glassstaff, he, having eaten and kind of taking a liking to you, he kind of offers up that Glassstaff lives here, and that's all he tells you.
Has he been here recently?
He kind of shakes his head and kind of motions to kind of towards the north, towards that entrance just next to you and Sildar Arch, like just to your west.
That?
Yeah, the path here.
Is the Nothic sharing all the information with all of us, or is he just talking to Arj right now?
I would assume it's a mental link.
He's talking to everyone.
Okay.
Mentally though.
Mentally
Not
talking.
Oh,
I
okay.
understand.
Yeah.
So I want to tell Arj, like, How does he recognize the name Yarno?
How do you know this gentleman, Yarno? If you divulge the
When you say like, how do you know him? He kind of shakes his head and he says, "No."
So he's only
He
heard of
doesn't-
him.
Yeah, he doesn't really know him.
Yeah, but I'm trying to ascertain where he heard of him. Like, did Glassstaff call him Yarno?
Okay. Where have you heard of him then?
He kind of looks at you with his head cocked to the side and just he doesn't say anything. You get the feeling that he wants something now in return before he answers.
Okay. I mentally ask him if he can cut the link between the others. As just like a
Sure.
Have a one-on-one.
yeah. I then tell him about my past with his tribe and things along those lines.
Sure, and you can tell that he's enwrapped with this story that you're telling him. He's totally focused on you, and it as you tell him this, it looks almost like he's kind of changing a little bit, like not physically, but just like his posture. He looks like he stands a little taller, and so it clear it to like he looks like he is enjoying the story.
I go to him, there are more that I can, of course, offer, but I do require some more information, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, he kind of nods, which when he does it makes his whole body kind of rock back and forth because he doesn't have like a head really. He just has one big eye and attached to his body almost.
Ask
And,
him if there are any dangerous creatures.
He kind of thinks for a moment, and you get a clear picture in your mind of a creature that looks very similar to the one you encountered in the Goblin Cave, Clark. And then right after that, just another picture of very clear of just a staff, which looks to be tipped with some sort of orb, like a clear orb.
Glass staff. Anyway.
He says that mentally. Da, da, da.
Completely out character. Like, oh my god, there's a staff. It's got a fucking glass on it. No, that didn't actually happen before you do some shitty reaction with this fucking creature, alright, Jules? I know where you're going with this.
I didn't say anything.
I mean, you always, whenever I say something, or I never say something out character, you just assume it's in character. You're like, eh! He laughs at your stupidity and then licks his lips. Anyway.
I'm waiting for you to say something useful.
In character.
I'm
just or out of.
Wow.
Can I
teach him a recipe?
Ask the Nothic if I can trade a secret for
the Nothic
knowing
can hear
what's.
You don't have to communicate
Because he cut off from us. Remember, he cut
but
off.
he can hear you. So
no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you can just say it out loud.
Nothic be like, all right, Nothic. I don't know.
He kind of turns to you.
I'll give you a secret if you tell me everything you know about the path down here under me, the south one that goes over here. I don't want to know about the one that goes outside. I want to know about this one here.
Kind of thinks for a while, and you can tell he's thinking pretty hard, and then he just shakes his head.
Nothing.
Well, at least he's doing fair trades, right? It's not like he said give the secret first, and then he just told you everything he knows. I know nothing. Like
it's nothing for nothing. That's a shame.
I'm trying to think. I mean.
And then you can tell the Nothic's kind of like his gaze has drifted back to Arch, who's fed him, and then suddenly he refocuses on you, Evan, and you get just a clear picture of Clark, or what looks like Clark to you, and then he focuses back on Arch.
Wait, so that was like that pertains to this area? He gave me a picture of Clark, or what looks like Clark, or just in general, just like.
Well,
it's a bugbear.
Well, here's this.
It looked. He kind of. He turned away and then turned back as if he remembered something, and then you saw a picture of Clark.
Okay. Well, then I'll.
Well, and it's not of Clark. Clark was a very specific,
of
but
his
you recognize
kind.
it as the same. Yeah.
Right. I guess I'll do the same thing that Arch did, and I'll show him my past too.
Sure. and as you do that, you get the feeling that he doesn't feel it was fair for you to give him that, and he shows you a picture of 2 human women and a young human boy in chains.
Oh, we found those guys.
Are you saying that like to him? Or you just
No, I'm just saying that to myself.
Well, he can read your thoughts.
Yeah, he-
so-
No, I'm saying that literally to myself.
Warwick could be
And
a
then-
place in this realm. I mean,
And as you guys kind of drift off, you notice the Nothic is staring directly at Sildar, and Sildar's lips are kind of moving. You can't make out what they're talking about. You see Sildar, like, he's not crying, but he kind of tears up a little bit, and suddenly the Nothic kind of shudders and then points under the bridge to the south, and Sildar kind of you can see he's shaken, and he kind of retreats and just like sits down with his back to the wall, and he kind of manages to stumble out. I made a trade. He said there was something under the bridge for you, and that was directed at you, Evan. But obviously everyone heard that.
For me.
Mhm.
Can I ask the Nothic if it's okay if I go down there and get it? And Nothic, is it okay if I go down and get what Sildar told me about?
He doesn't really respond, but he
Like, I just don't want him to freak out if I go down there with him while he's
heard.
eating.
You get the sense that like the Nothic seems to have heard you, and
He's all right with whatever. Can I like perception to see if I can see something under the bridge from here?
sure, give me a perception check.
Because I don't trust Sildar. He's a bitch.
Yeah, so you kind of look, you hold your torch kind of down into it to kind of illuminate the area under the bridge, and under there you see a battered wooden chest in a little cubby hole at the bottom of the crevasse. It was invisible from the edge until you kind of leaned over to look.
Yeah.
And again, as you lean over to look, that cold air just hits you again. It's quite a large chest. There isn't a lot more that he knows.
That's the little thing he knows?
Yeah,
I feel like we'd probably be here all day. Or
and
something.
as you watch him, you can tell that he doesn't look as puny
Interested in
and
it.
terrified. He looks like he's gotten his energy back, and he's not as interested in you as he was before. Whereas before he was focused like really hard on you and the food. He's clearly happy
So he's chilling right now.
as far as you can tell.
Alright. Yeah.
It's
Chilling until the point where I-
much use in a fight.
The only information you've ever had is from Leah, and Leah knows that, I mean, they can fight if they're pushed to it, but a lot of times they
Me rather.
attempt to reason.
Can I, like, he's 30 feet away, not that far. Can I ask Sildar, like, what is waiting for me down there? You seem to know.
Sildar, he's kind of like, he's still recovering from whatever he told the Nothic, and it clearly affected him really deeply, but he says, all he told me was there was treasure. And he kind of goes back, and he kind of pulls the cloak up over him.
Can I
Fuck
offer
it.
the creature to join us?
The creature, I mean, do you say that? Like, yeah.
Yeah, well,
you
I'm
ask?
just saying, like, I would
Yeah.
preempt it by saying, do you feel safe down here?
As you ask that, you notice the creature slowly been kind of creeping, not towards you, but towards the kind of the bridge, and you look north and you see like a little, it looks like the crevasse kind of goes into the cave, and he kind of stops when you ask that, and he kind of shakes his head and keeps moving towards.
I'm gonna go ahead and fuck it. Yeah.
Give
Can
me
I
an
ask
athletics check if
Leah-
you're gonna go down.
Yeah, to like kind of like, I don't know, just in case, get like right over here.
It's a container at the bottom of the thing, right? There's a
Yeah.
chest.
It's a chest kind of in the cubby, kind of in a little crevasse or indentation in the rock,
So-
kind of hidden from view.
I should be able to reach that with my mage hand, right?
You could open it from there, yeah, probably. Would
Yeah,
Mage
if you
Hand
moved up,
actually?
if you moved up within 30 feet, you could open it. Yeah, if it wasn't locked, you don't know.
I'll give you the
Did
athletics because I'm
the
still.
creature shake his head that he feels safe, or he doesn't want to join us? And...
He didn't really respond. He's kind of ignoring you now. Yeah, so you're able to kind of you just like put your butt down and slide right down, and at the bottom you feel just unnaturally cold, and you detect that a faint necromantic aura And as you get down, feel odd, like almost as if you're not aging.
Ooh.
And you notice kind of growing out of the rocks, some moss and stuff like that. And the moss looks like it looks old, but at the same time like it's just growing, brand new. But it's
Right.
clearly spread quite a bit across. It's been here for centuries, but it seems to be,
Necromancy bullshit. Do you want to, or I'll actually be back here. Do you want to try to give it a go with the
Yeah, I want to
chest?
tell Eve, like, don't approach it yet. Let's, just make sure it's not gonna explode when it opens. I want to try mage handing the container open.
Yeah. So you see Eve kind of conjure this bluish, purpley
Oh, I don't.
wisps, and you see the hand go by you, and kind of stop in front of the chest, and you see it grab onto the thing, and the chest opens up, and from where you're standing, Evan, you see glittering. You don't know what it is, but it looks, it looks to you like gold. And as you get closer and look inside, you see a couple pouches of silver and gold, five green malachite gems. You see kind of tucked into the side. You see 2 potions, red glittering, and underneath the pouches of gold, you see a piece of parchment rolled up. And you would have expected the weight of the coins to kind of crush it, but it's almost as if it didn't, it magically resisted being crushed, and you see just a piece of parchment. And as you're about to kind of close it, seeing, having retrieved everything, you notice kind of behind the chest a silver chased scabbard with a hilt with a sword kind of in the scabbard.
Kinda in.
And the hilt, the sword is in it. You see the scabbard worked into the shape of a bird of prey with outstretched wings. Looks like a hawk. Give me a history check. Yeah, so looking at this sword, you don't, you haven't. It doesn't look to be. Yeah. So as you pick it up, you kind of pull it out of the scabbard to kind of inspect it, and you see just at the top where the hilt meets the blade, you see it inscribed with a name, and it says Talon. No, you can't. I'm just saying, as you kind of pull the sword slightly out of the scabbard to inspect the blade itself, and as you pick it up, you feel a faint magical energy from this.
Sweet. Can I do a history check on it?
When I get to you,
haven't seen it yet, but yeah.
Well,
And while everybody's kind of been focused on this, kind of waiting to see if the chest explodes, the Nothic has disappeared north into the cave.
Like in here?
In here.
Oh, I was like, because I saw the token run off to the right. I was like, he's gonna go terrorize the town now. Cool. So I guess
all of you can take 100 XP.
Sweet. Did
Yeah.
athletics?
So. Yeah, athletics to get back up. Yeah, no problem. You're able to find lots of handholds and kind of clamber back up.
Seeing as I think Arj is more historically
Sure,
knowledgeable
Arj,
than I am.
give me a history check. Yeah, so
Yes.
Arj, Evan pulls out this blade, and almost immediately seeing the interesting hilt worked into the shape of a bird of prey with outstretched wings, and then he kind of pulls it slightly out of the scabbard, and you see the name Talon inscribed on it. You immediately recognize this as belonging to a great knight named Aldith Tresendar, and Tresendar being the name of this manor, and from stories that have been told that he was known as the Black Hawk. And as you're doing this, Evan, as you're climbing out and up and showing this blade, you notice a body down in the bottom of the crevasse that at first you hadn't noticed because it was behind you and you were focusing kind of on the south, and behind that another body, and you reckon the first one is kind of clad in rusted, what would have been at the time very ornate plate armor. Pointing that out, Arj, you recognize that as the armor of Sir Aldith, who died fighting off the orcs that rampaged the town when it was destroyed, and clearly this is his final resting place. And looking at the body that's been in this cavern, knowing the town was destroyed hundreds of years ago, the body is remarkably well preserved. Not in an undead way, just in the necromantic aura is seeming to slow down the aging of everything that's down there.
He
Is
is
the armor
confused.
also nice and cool?
No, the armor has
It's
been
all
rusted
fucked up.
away. You know, puncture holes where the orcs bashed it. It's been bashed in. You can see
Right.
like the boots and everything are crushed under the. And there was a small cave in where the rocks piled over it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Okay.
rocks on top of the body?
Yeah,
Somewhat.
and then you notice the second body. It's a human male dressed in the same gray cloak that the prisoners were wearing, and you recognize him as from pictures that you saw in the woodcarver's house as the woodcarver that was murdered by the bandits. And it looks like they tossed his body down there.
Well,
So, did you get everything that was in the chest? Do you want me to go over it
you
again?
told me that there was silver and shit.
Yeah.
and
So
everything,
opening
but
up
you didn't tell me
opening up
amounts.
the pouches, you see 160 silver pieces.
Okay.
In the second one, you find 120 gold pieces.
Wait, fucking goddamn it. All right, wait. So 120 gold. Uh huh.
160 silver. You find 5 sparkling green malachite gems that you recognize as being worth probably 10 to 15 gold each. And then you
Right.
found
How
2
much
potions
did
of healing. And you're not able to read the scroll, but it looks to be a magical scroll. And as he pulls out the scroll, can you give me a Arcana check, Arch?
Yeah, of course.
What about Leah? Wouldn't she know?
Leah hasn't seen it yet, but
Whatever.
if you show it to her, yeah, you can give me one as well, Leah. Arj, so as he pulls this out, you kind of grab his hand as he's like just going through the stuff because he doesn't really recognize the value, and you kind of grab the thing, and you recognize it as a scroll of augury. Essentially, it's almost a gambling spell, where you using gem inlaid sticks, dragon bones, ornate cards, or another divining tool, you're able to receive an omen from another worldly entity about the results of a specific course of action. So essentially, you're granted a glimpse into the future. But with your experience with Arcana, you're aware that often, just as often as not, the other worldly entity isn't always friendly.
So it could bullshit us out of character and all this shit. Who has healing potions and who doesn't out of us 3?
No, I don't have any.
And Leah.
I have 1.
Right. So I'll give one to Arj.
7.
Pretty legit at our level 7 HP.
What, if
Soul's
it's-
got all
if
the
it's-
fucking cash.
Eh.
If it's the blade,
Yeah, I have
it's
a
like
hell of a lot of
heavy
money,
iron,
dude.
imagine.
I'm basically vexed right now. I mean, it's not like I just keep it for myself for like greedy
Yeah,
shit.
and while this has been going on, Sildar has kind of recovered from
From whatever
Dang it.
trauma he had.
and seeing the sword, you can tell he's kind of in awe of it. And when he kind of one of you kind of he notices the body that you guys noticed down there, and you can see he obviously recognizes the armor and is sad to see body here. But
So, is the scabbard anything special, or it's just like a little scabbard?
no, I mean the scabbard is a little more ornate than just
Yeah.
a simple leather one.
But it's not like magical
It has
like the sword is.
there's nothing magical on it. Yeah, it's just got a little bit of silver inlaid in a nice pattern.
Kat, what time is it for you, by the way?
It's way past my bedtime. And that's the time.
You're probably about 3/4 through, but
Okay.
it could take a lot longer depending.
On what goes down? Yeah. Set up camp or something.
I mean, this spot seems a little safe.
I
mean,
that would be up
They
to them.
dump dead bodies here. So.
Sildar pipes up and he says, "It's absolutely not safe. You see those bodies down there, right?"
Yeah, what
Yeah,
I
but-
said. Like, it's,
I mean,
they
the
dump dead
Nothic was
bodies here.
chilling.
And so
I'm gonna
in
rope
response to that, Sildar says, "Yeah, that should be all the more reason not to stay here."
Yeah, it's true. The Nothic was like just chilling there. Like, cause this might be like a little safe little room that we might be able to.
So we're gonna prod some rooms until we find a defensible position.
I mean, maybe. Like, I just want to check that if this is automatically like something that we might feel like is defensible, we could just set up camp in here. Sure, sir. What's up with this, dog?
Yeah, I mean, it is what you see. It's just so far a tunnel.
Is that a door?
Make a perception check.
I knew it. I had a feeling. I was like, can I perception the way?
Yeah, so as you're walking up, you catch your foot on like a little rock sticking out, and you fall down, and you pull your hand out to steady yourself, and you just hit this switch that you didn't even notice at the time.
And
the
we're in awe.
and the door swings open, and you recognize it as the room that you entered in.
Idiots
Oh.
about yes. This is where people come in and out of though.
Sildar has been following you guys, and he mentions the tunnel to the south with the cool air, and he says that it might lead to the forest. Maybe
Yeah,
we
could
camp in the forest.
camp out here.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, that kid said a thing about a thing.
Can I? Yeah, it did say something about the tunnel. I'm gonna.
Yeah. So
I don't
well,
know
so
if I
as
should
as
snap
you
the torch.
as you get to there, you hear the sounds of kind of a forest. You hear birds. You feel a cool breeze, and looking, you see a light about 100 feet in front of you, where the cave opens up into the forest.
Alright, so torch is snuffed and all that.
You guys walk out. You kind of appear like right around here.
There was a tunnel. Motherfucking kid goes deep into the forest.
Yeah.
I wish I saw the rest of this, because if there's like a corner we could bend around, so that we wouldn't be like right in the view.
No,
of the people
there
coming
is.
in and out.
I mean, this is just a forest that goes out for a while.
But it is a thick forest too, so
Yeah.
I mean, with Leo, we'd be able to find our way back if we go deeper into the forest to
Yeah.
camp, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I guess let's go deep into the forest and camp out. What time is it right now, by the way? It's probably late, right? We've been in
it's-
there for like.
Looking up, you can't see the sun because the trees are kind of, the canopy of trees is blocking the way. But just based on what little light is coming through, and kind of your natural clock, you feel like it's probably around like dinner time.
All right, so time to camp out, have a long rest, wake up in the morning.
Sildar's pretty intent on finding the leader of the Redbrands, and he wants to camp in the forest and kind of head back in as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
I feel at home in the woods.
All right, so in the woods we camp.
Sure. So you guys kind of set up a quick camp. You don't have tents or anything, but you find
Yeah.
some comfy logs and stuff. Leah,
Rotating shifts, of course.
yeah, Leah runs out and she's able to bring back like a couple of rabbits and some berries and nuts that she found in the forest, and you guys cook those up and
And a
Make
weird
pretty
looking
nice.
mushroom.
pretty nice dinner. Yeah, and she found a mushroom that she kind of kept to herself, and you see her kind of in the corner, just like 2 feet, like a foot away from a tree, just staring at it.
She's taking first watch.
By watching the tree.
And you can see her kind of like opening and closing her mouth and like putting her hands out and kind of feeling the tree.
She's really good at looking out. She's intent.
Rest, get her
I was
spells
gonna
back.
say, can I like not use that potion?
No, you've already used
No,
it.
you did. I'll
Yeah.
give you. I'm giving you the other one that I had to.
I'm surprised no one commented on my moving profile picture.
All I see is names.
Yes, sir.
No, you don't have an avatar.
Yeah, I set mine to names because those things were getting in the way of maps.